Wednesday night holiday hockey is on the air as the Delaware Thunder play their final game of 2021. Still looking for their first win of the season as they face the Carolina Thunderbirds. Live here from the Thunderdome, exclusively on DelawareThunder.com. The question being, will the Thunder end the year on a high note? Well, we'll find out next, but first, it's the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. Welcome into the broadcast booth. I am Dave Garson, joined by my broadcast partner, Mike Basile. Mike, hopefully you had a good holiday.
I did. Did you?
Yeah, I did as well. You had some hockey in between, and let's start there. The Thunder coming off a loss to Binghamton. It was a tough one, but they hung in there, and at one point had that game tied. How did you feel coming out of that game, other than the fact that they did not end up winning?
Well, again, it's the fight from this team, and we talk about it. This is a team obviously winless on the season, but you look at some games. That's a game 3-3 in the second period. Watertown a couple weeks ago, also 3-3 in the second period. There's a lot to look at positively for this team. Tonight, a tough task. Carolina, very good last season, before the COVID season, I should say. And now they go back against them here at the Thunderdome where they could see some success.
Absolutely. We'll talk more about Carolina in a minute, but let's talk about the Thunder and a guy named Ryan Marker returning to the lineup last game and getting himself a hat trick, looking really strong after missing some time.
Well, Ryan Marker, that first game, you come back from an injury, you're kind of getting into the groove of things, shaking off the rust, right? That was that first game. Against Binghamton the other night, he was fast. He had the finish back. He looked like the Ryan Marker we know. With Yanni Liarakos and Danny Cangelosi by his side, that could be a problem for this Carolina team.
Absolutely. And, Mike, you're with the team on the road and also obviously here at home. Are you starting to see them gel a little bit with the lineup becoming a little bit more consistent at this point?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think the biggest thing is the leadership's here now. You have Alex Basie, you have Yanni Liarakos, you have Mike Swiderski. These are guys who have played a ton of pro hockey. Liam Little as well. Now, you have a couple guys who've played. You get into a tight situation, maybe you're up one late in the third, you have that calming presence on the bench. They haven't had that before, now they do. Alex Basie is a huge add for this team.
Absolutely. Now let's shift inside the blue paint, the goaltending. You don't have Trevor Babin tonight, but Mike Constantino, who's been very strong in the net, but facing a ton of shots. Do you see these goaltenders in general with the Thunder starting to wear down a bit? And they need the defense to definitely step up a bit.
Yeah, they need to keep the shots from the outside. A lot of times you look at it, it's quantity, not quality of shots. But it's been both sometimes on the other end. And, Constantino, Babin, whoever it may have been in net have been good. Jacob Caffrey for a couple games here, he was good. And it's kind of been a committee goaltending crew here. And I do think that, the shots start to add up. End of a game, you start to see a couple go in the third. And maybe, that could be why, you see a lot of rubber early and you get on it late. You need the D to start blocking some shots and the wings to get out to the point.
Absolutely. And shifting gears to the Carolina Thunderbirds, they had a little bit of a bus malfunction on the way here. So that's why we're starting a little bit later than normal. And it doesn't look like Carolina's going to get much of a warm-up, something the Thunder can take advantage of. But you mentioned early on, Carolina, more of a veteran team. They've been in the league starting in 2017. They founded in 2016. But they do have some really good offensive attack players that the Thunder have to be worried about.
I looked at John Butita right away. This is a guy who you said played in this league quite some time. He's a goal scorer, a point-per-game guy in this league, which is really dangerous. You also look at Gus Ford, the top two goal scorers for this team. At any time can be good. You look to the blue line. Oh, Yuri Pastuka's there. This guy's an absolute stud. He's got speed, size, and he could shoot like anybody. This is a crazy tough team to play against. Yes, like anybody in this league this year, they had to make some calls last minute like everybody, but their top two lines are still as dangerous as ever.
Well, one area the Thunder might be able to take advantage of is the goaltending for Carolina, which is a little bit in flux. Evan Morrison's going to get the start tonight, only a second appearance with this team, so fire pucks early and often would be the key.
I would say so, but Evan Morrison's no slouch. He played a couple of games in the Ontario Hockey League, so that's kind of what Delaware is going to be, dealing with. It looks like, you get a break. A goalie who's only backed up in this league so far, but no, he played a couple of OHL games, so he's got skill. He's going to be quick laterally, and they've only seen him for a little bit, so Delaware is going to have to figure out early where to get the shots on him.
And I guess it can go either way. A team coming off the bus, just going right out and playing, can just clear their heads and get right into the action. Sometimes they might be a little slow. We'll see how it shakes out here as we inch our way closer to the opening faceoff as the Delaware Thunder take on the Carolina Thunderbirds here live from the Thunderdome here on the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. Back to wrap it up right after this. And welcome back to the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. Dave Garson here with your starting goaltenders for tonight's action between the Delaware Thunder and the Carolina Thunderbirds. For your Thunder, it'll be Mike Constantino getting the start. 6'1", 185 from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. He's 0-6-1 on the season. He's faced 287 shots, steering 253 of those away, 5.51 goals against average, and an 88% save percentage for Mike Constantino. For the Carolina Thunderbirds, it'll be Evan Morrison. As you heard Mike Basile mentioning, an experienced goaltender, not necessarily in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, but in the Ontario Junior League. This year coming in 1-0, gave up 5 goals in his only appearance, 5.00 goals against average, and a save percentage of .875. So it'll be Constantino against Morrison. A little bit of a delay to the start here, as we mentioned, Carolina having some bus troubles on the way here from Carolina, Winston-Salem area. So the teams are finishing their preparations in the locker room for this one, and we're just about ready for them to come out on the ice in a little bit. So that'll wrap it up for the Holiday Inn Express pregame show. And coming up the next time we chat, it'll be the face-off between the Delaware Thunder coming in 0-14-1 against the 8-8-1 Carolina Thunderbirds. Stay with us here on DelawareThunder.com. And welcome back to Delaware Thunder Hockey. Still here in a delay as the Carolina Thunderbirds had some bus trouble and were delayed in arriving here to the Thunderdome. I Delaware Thunder already held their warm-ups good 20 minutes or so ago, and we're waiting to get confirmation whether Carolina will get a brief warm-up or not, but we will keep you up to date on the situation as the 8-1 Carolina Thunderbirds travel here for the first time to the Thunderbird to take on this Delaware squad. And last time these teams met, it was on the road down in Winston-Salem, and the Thunder were outscored 16-6 in those two games, a pair of 8-3 losses, as the Carolina Thunderbirds have entered the ice surface here. And we will take one final break. We'll be back, and hopefully we'll have puck drop for you here as Delaware takes on Carolina for the first time here from the Thunderdome. Back with more right after this. Player introductions here as we come to you live from the Thunderdome. Delaware Thunder and the Carolina Thunderbirds. If you're just joining us, a late start to tonight's action post-Christmas as Carolina had some bus malfunction on the way here, had to regroup and come back. And they did arrive around 6:45. They're not even going to get a warm-up tonight. The Thunder did get their warm-up, and they're in the midst of player introductions, and we'll have the national anthem and the start of this one. Dave Garson will be joined by Mike Basile in just a little bit, as Yanni Larakos, Dan Cangelosi, and Ryan Marker are going to be your starting forwards, with Timothy Payne and Kevin Basie on defense. And we will now pause for the singing of the anthem, and then we'll have puck drop here, slightly delayed on this Wednesday evening. And there you have it, a nice rendition of our national anthem. Wednesday night holiday hockey in between Christmas and New Year's. Dave Garson, Mike Basile here with the action. To the right, it's going to be Mike Constantino in goal, as I mentioned in the pregame. To the left, it's going to be Evan Morrison for the Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds wearing their road whites with the red piping and some black piping as well, the black helmets. The Thunder are in their home dark black uniforms with the white lettering and numbering and the piping in gray and white. They'll have the black helmets except for Mike Constantino, who sports the white helmet. And just about set Mike here for some Wednesday night hockey action.
Yeah, Wednesday night hockey, you said it. You know, you get the holiday break, and look at this place. Really crowded tonight for a Wednesday night.
Even makes your voice squeak a bit when you get excited about it there, Mike, huh?
Yeah, let's see what happens on the first goal, maybe. A little sound like a chipmunks.
Dawson Baker will match up against Dan Cangelosi on the draw. We're underway here from the Thunderdome. Glad you could join us, Dave Garson and Mike Basile. Dropping it back there is Morrison. Big full head of steam, Dan Cangelosi. Picked up behind the net there by Yuri Pastuka, a very strong defenseman for this Thunderbirds team. And that one flicked in by Thompson. Regrouped by Timothy Payne on the left wing side. Sports it up to Liarakis. Liarakis now to Ryan Marker. Marker back to Liarakos. Rakos gets one on, and an easy save for the goaltender Evan Morrison, who, as Mike mentioned, has some very high-level experience.
He does. He has very high level. The OHL, quite a league. I think his size is one of the things that hurts him. Not the biggest goaltender, but he is quick from what I hear. And there he shows it off, pushing back to the post.
And Gus Ford now, the center, assistant captain, winning that draw. And he gets it back to his defensive partner, and that's Talipov, and now it's back up to Ford. He is dangerous. He tries a little dipsy-do move towards the center, and Casatino grabs it in his glove. Stephen Flego got in there as well to disrupt that play. We'll have a face-off to the left of Constantino.
And Mike Constantino saw a couple shots, two awkward ones. The one from well out at the blue line that kind of surprised him in the shoulder area, and then that one off skates and right back to him.
Ford wins it back to the point, but it goes up and away to center ice. Talipov now has it. Talipov passing up forward, and that was Ford deflecting it into the Thunder bench. And a stoppage of play here. Just underway. Shy of a minute in. No score between the Thunder and the Thunderbirds. First appearance by the Thunderbirds here in Delaware this season. And the final home game and the final game of 2021 for the Thunder. Back at it on Saturday, New Year's Day. Liam Little loses that one. It went forward. And picking it up there was Manakino. It's picked up now by Artem Alekin on the backhander, easily steered clear by Morrison, and behind the net, Pastuka stops on a dime, twists, and there's going to be a penalty against the Thunder. It's going to be a trip, and the Thunder are going to be shorthanded as Pastuka stopped on a dime, and that created the trip. I believe it's going to be against Alekin.
Yeah, he takes out the legs behind the net there as he's trying to cut to the net, and that's just one of those things that you can't do. Anytime the stick is up in the feet area, they're going to go.
And the Thunderbirds this season with a 20% power play unit, which is kind of middle of the pack. But they do have some high-skilled players, and several of them will be out there, including number 14, Butita. Butita taking the draw. Ford will be back at the point with Pastuka. They win it, but it's picked up and brought out by Swiderski, wearing 21 on this evening. He switched between multiple numbers, and here's Gus Ford. His formal name is Caleb. Here's a shot by Baker that deflects back on him, and then he spins it back around to Butita. Butita back to Pastuka. Pastuka drops it into the corner, and that's a nice setup here all the way over to Ford. Ford, mid-circle, waiting, throws it out in front, deflected around, laying there. Butita got two cracks at it, but a nice save by Constantino as we're about 33 seconds into this power play. A little extracurricular effort going on here as the official says everybody stay on the bench. And they'll separate things as getting in there. Several players on both sides. Butita as well as Dawson Baker, number 25. And Kevin Basie throwing that big body around as well.
Couple all hairs team on this Carolina team, huh, Dave?
Absolutely. It'll be Peavy coming out now. Schnapp, who will wear number 6 instead of number 7. And on that left wing side, they'll set up with Everett Thompson. Peavy off the draw against Liam Little. Face off here to the left of Constantino, sporting the white pads, white blocker, white glove, white helmet. Everything's white except the jersey. Still on the power play here, the Thunderbirds, 1:27 remaining. And a delay here. Looks like the official's talking to the scoreboard operator. And they're trying to actually check the scorecards. I don't know if there was an issue with the starting lineups. Coach Penn's talking it over with Coach McLean. And now Coach McLean will come and they're going to exchange notes here.
Wonder what's going on down there. What was the issue here?
I don't know if there's a discrepancy in the lineups that were distributed. I know this was quite late in getting them up because Carolina arrived late. And Coach McLean is always on top of that as far as the lineups for the Thunder. But they're going line by line on the lineups over here with Coach McLean. And Coach Penn's is also expressing his concern here potentially. But Mike, let's talk about the start here. We've got a power play. A little bit of a feeling out process early on, as we've seen in many of these games. This will be a key kill here for the Thunder, especially as they continue to review the starting lineups, or the lineups in general. And Coach Pence does not seem too happy about it. And if there was an issue with the lineup, I don't know if that would create a penalty situation here as we try to unravel this. Now the other official has gone over to Coach McLean.
Doesn't look like it's going to create any issues, does it?
It looks like they're showing Swiderski, like he's here, number 21. And great job by the training and the ops staff here to get most of the nameplates on the jerseys here for this one as well. And still here in a delay. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back as soon as this one gets back on track. So it looks like we're ready to go here. A delay as the officials were reviewing the lineup cards with Coach McLean and Coach Penn's of the Thunder. No scores. We reset things. 18:08 remaining first period. 1 minute and 27 seconds left on this power play here for the Thunderbirds as Peavy will take the draw along with Schnapp. And over there as well is Everett Thompson. As we're here, and the puck comes back to the point to Cody Oakes. Oakes cross and a flicking shot from the point, which went wide off the stick of Ramil Talipov. And now picked up and back to the point is Oakes. Oakes lets a wrist shot go, deflected off the pads of Kevin Basie, and some very much physical play going on in front, particularly with Basie now behind the net, thrown out in front, and a shot by Peavy is knocked down by the goaltender Constantino. And now Joey Brennan tried to clear. It's kept in by Oakes at the point. 49 seconds left on this power play. Cross-ice pass and a great opportunity for Peavy, but it went well wide. Now back is Talipov. It kicked off the heel of his skate. Back out is Liam Little. Liam Little moving into the corner. 36 seconds left on the power play. Inching our way closer to 3 minutes into this first period. No score between the Thunder and the Thunderbirds. And breaking it out is Jacob Schnapp. He lost it and it goes back into the zone. Cody Oakes getting it up here to Daniel Martin. Martin with a cross-ice pass to Baker. And he let a wrister go. And it was bobbled momentarily by the goaltender Constantino, but cleared out. And that'll do it for the power play as the remaining seconds tick off. 16:44 on the first period. Clock left out in front. Ryan Marker shoots and he scores! And now the referee is saying no goal. What is going on here? A lot of controversy. I believe they're going to say the net came off its moorings. Ryan Marker was clear and wide open in front, made a move and got a goal. And now they're saying no goal. And it might be that left mooring that came off again.
I think it was, and I don't think it has an effect on the goal there, Dave. I think the puck's in the net, no effect there.
And that was a broken play, and the puck just sat right out in front to Ryan Marker. But no goal, face off to the left of Morrison, and we're back underway. And a very odd before game action and during game action here as it's moved up. Tucker getting it up on that side, and the shot taken, and it's going to be into the corner now and back out. Oakes, who plays a lot defensively for this team. Nicoletti wearing 3. That's a late change. Nicoletti wearing 3, not 4. That's David Nicoletti now moving out. Ryan Marker gets it to Leo Rakos. Leo Rakos on that left wing side. Throws it towards the net. It goes wide. Marker to the other side of the ice. At right wing side, he steers it back into the corner. 4 minutes into play. A wild pass out in front by Leo Rakos, trying to get it to Cangelosi, and now back out to the neutral zone. Nicoletti tries to settle things down, and he pushed it too far into his own zone, and now Holt will circle back for it. Some good forecheck established here by the Thunder, Mike.
Yeah, really good, and here comes Schnapp the other way, dangerous.
Jordan Schnapp moving in, tried the little dangle, and he, in the meantime, losing his helmet was Flego. And I don't know what's going on. Are they going to call a penalty?
No, I think they just blew it dead because the bucket fell off. Which usually doesn't happen. Flago's just got to go to the bench, but he's spitting up blood, Flego. He's in trouble.
Oh, boy. And maybe that was part of it. Usually if the goaltender helmet comes off, they immediately blow it dead. But in this case, it was a defender. And it's dangerous here with Gus Ford on an offensive zone draw out there with Schnapp. And it's just been a little bit of back and forth, physically and verbally, if I may, as the benches have been at it. The confusion over the lineup cards. A discontinued goal, I guess we could say as well. And now back at the point. There's a nice pad save off the shot from Manikio. Manikio throwing it in the corner to Gus Ford. Ford on this team leads it with 9 goals. Back out, here comes Ryan Marker, who just snapped right back into the lineup and has done very well. Coming off a game with a hat trick. The official takes the spill. Butita, coming out with it, the captain. Threw it up to Schnapp. It's deflected, and now Butita will fire it in. And stick save by Constantino, and Joey Brennan will get it behind the net. Kevin Basie, who's now been in several games this season for the Thunder, starting to get into a rhythm. Cody Oakes lost an edge, but kept the puck, tried to get it up to Thompson. Meanwhile, it's going to come up to Daniel Martin. Martin stops top of the circle and fires a slap shot, which is easily gloved down, and we will have ourselves a media timeout. With the score, 0-0 between the Thunder and Thunderbirds, 14:43 to go, first period. And so we are back. First period action off the draw. The Thunderbirds win it. Martin let one loose. It got caught up in some pads and thrown out in front. And an opportunity there in the pass by Dawson Baker. Cody Oakes passing it up. And that's Baker again, number 25, head up. And he'll dish it off to Thompson. Thompson across the red line, now in through the blue line of the offensive zone. Back to Baker. Backhand, forehand, let it on the net. And a nice save again off the pad. Costantino sturdy on those leg pads. The big white CCMs. Now into the corner. Talipov tried to force it up to the point. Couldn't do it. Timothy Payne ridden off the puck. Talipov back after it. Gets it to Baker. Top of the circle. Baker will wait. He loops it over to Holt. Holt along the ice. Couldn't get it anywhere. Went off the skate of Basie and now out to center ice. 13:46 on that first period clock. DeAndrea, number 8, has the puck now. Drops it back to Holt. Holt moving in with some speed. Tried to get towards the slot, then he's taken off. And an easy wrist shot and an easy save there off the shot from Blake Peavy. And Costantino has been busy, but most of the shots have been kept to the outside. Blake Peavy, not to be confused with former Major League pitcher Jake Peavy, who pitched for the San Diego Padres, among other teams. And Peavy will take the draw here. Flego having some helmet issues. If I remember correctly, it was his lid that came off on that last shift, and he's still having some trouble. Kevin Basie will come out to replace him. Cangelosi against Peavy. Peavy wins it strong. Back to Pastuca. DeAndrea lifting that one well to the opposite side of the net. Joey Brennan done such a good job in the lineup every night defensively for this Thunder team. And another regular now, Kevin Basie. He replaces Brennan behind the net. And now Ryan Marker stepped right into that lineup over the weekend, or pardon me, on Monday, and got the hat trick. Fired that shot up towards the top of the shoulder pads and up and out. So Evan Morrison only in his second start here. So we have an icing and a late whistle. Exactly 7 minutes into action here. Dave Garson with the call. Mike Basile kind of in and out here, dealing with some things operationally. Glad you could join me here this evening from the Thunderdome. Carolina in their road whites, and they definitely became road warriors earlier. Timothy Payne with an easy one right into the breadbasket of Morrison, and he'll get the stoppage. To add some color to that, their bus broke down, and talking to their broadcaster, this is the 4th time in 4th trips that they've had bus trouble. So it might be time to reevaluate the bus company they're using. And that's why we had the delayed start. Then we had some sort of roster issue that came about and caused a delay in the game. Here's Ryan Marker, tough angle shot. And Morrison might have gotten a piece of it. Butita behind the net now to Cody Oakes. Oakes throwing it up to Monachillo. Monachillo with those flowing locks. And he tried to get it over to Butita, but it's picked up by Cangelosi. Cangelosi with a dish off the boards to Ryan Marker, who just backhanded in a dump and chase. Starting to get into a little bit more of a flow in this one. Cody Oakes coming away with another one with some nice flow to that hair. Cody Oakes moving right on in, gets it over to Gus Ford. Ford moves to the middle, and he lost the puck. Now it's behind the net. Oakes now to Talipov, and a high riser goes behind the net, now along the side, and thrown out in front, and a shot by Schnapp, and a great right pad save by Costantino, and he doesn't seem too happy about something. Back the other way, and now they're going to say that the net came off as Costantino was clanging the post, I believe, saying that the net came off. And this is just such an odd start to this hockey game. The Ryan Marker goal disallowed because of a dislodged net, and now Costantino was really frustrated that play continued on that last sequence because the net became dislodged, and away we go. And Mike, welcome back.
Well, my question to you is, why do you blow it dead when it's here? You blow it dead when it's back there? You could easily just push that back on.
I believe it was because Costantino was extremely animated about it, and apparently he didn't feel he could put it back in place himself, but we'll try to find out. Here's Talapov moving out the other way. If I'm a goalie, I just fix it and let my team go forward offensively.
Yeah.
Baker, that one went off a stick. Now Thompson pushing forward. Taken away by Joey Brennan, but kept in the zone. And a cross-ice pass is picked up by Swiderski. Swiderski to Flego. Couple fairly newcomers left there for Morgan. Oh, he had a yawning net. Morrison lost it in his pads. And now it's an empty net, and Brennan fires it wide. So the net was calling and said, just shoot it right at me. And neither player could do so. Now Thompson for the Carolina Thunderbirds. As we go back and forth. Thompson rolling around behind the net. Looking for some support. He doesn't have much in that corner. He stops. And now Luke Casey doing some shoving. All the way around is Baker. Lets a wrister go. Left in front by Constantino. He gets the rebound. And I think they're going to call a penalty on the extra slash on the goaltender.
No, I think it's going to be a cross-check on Delaware. I hate to say it.
Oh, boy.
But I think that's what we're getting.
Not. I was watching Constantino get swatted at there. And you're correct, Mike. I thought maybe they would get it on the goaltender interference, but it's going to go against the Thunder. It'll be an interference or a cross-check, pardon me. And another power play for the Thunderbirds, their second of this first period.
I'm sorry, I didn't see who they got there. Did they get Lucchese for that? It looked like he was away from the play.
Yeah, it's actually Brennan, Joey Brennan, who's going to be in the box. This has been a wild start to this hockey game. 9 minutes in, second power play, and the music reappears at the Thunderdome. Having some music issues.
We just needed IT.
Yes. Otherwise known as me. Here's Butita behind the net. And he's rode hard there by Basie, and a big hit by Noah Wild. Oh, he came out of nowhere there. Here's Pastuca getting it now to Butita. Butita, top of the circle. Now mid-circle. A cross-ice pass to Ford. Gus Ford throwing it to the point. Pastuca. Now across to Thompson. Thompson waiting. Baker. And now he gets it over to Thompson. Now back to Baker. Baker had a lane, and he fired it wide. So you have Pastuca wearing 24, and wearing 25 is Dawson Baker. So correct those numbers in the 20s as that puck went out of play. 10:25 on the period clock. The first stanza, 1:24 on the power play. And Butita will come out to take the draw.
The start for Delaware here has just been odd. The penalty, you get the goal called off, then you get the play back the other way. It's just been weird.
And you would think it would go the other way with Carolina coming out, no warm-ups, bus troubles and all. But it turns out Carolina's had the majority of play in the offensive zone, including these two power plays. Ford tripped up over the blue line, and now he's going to be offsides as coming back over the blue line was Daniel Martin with 59 seconds remaining on this man advantage. No score here in Delaware. Delaware Thunder and the Carolina Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds at Hockey 500, 8-1, and the Thunder still desperately looking for win number one. Here's Thompson. He gets tripped up, and that's another penalty. Kevin Basie will go to the box.
Alex
Basie will go to the box. Not Kevin Spacey.
That's what you were thinking,
That's
right?
exactly what I was thinking there. And it's going to be a two-man advantage.
That's why I was having just a little bit of a laugh. I was like, he's thinking Kevin Spacey here.
Well, got to lighten the mood here in this one. It's been just a lot of oddities. We had that lineup issue, which we still really haven't figured out.
Well, I think it was just one of the players was listed as a different number, and it got sorted out pretty quickly here. But now it's a 5-on-3, which hopefully Delaware can also sort out.
Now you're going to have the big guns out there, but I believe we're going to have immediate time out here, and we will take a break with the score. 0-0, Thunder and Thunderbirds. And so we are back, two-man advantage here for the Thunderbirds. Looking to strike first. It'll be Baker on the draw against Lucchese. And Lucchese wins it forward. Pastuca over to Ford. Watch it. Oh, he fires that wrist shot wide. And Pastuca gets it back over to Ford. And a drop pass to Martin, back to Ford. Ford playing the point on this 5-on-3. Pastuca also dangerous. Ford winds and fires it wide, and it'll come out of the zone. 30 seconds left on the one penalty, 1:34 on the other. As we tick under 10 minutes to play, first period, no score.
Frustrated Delaware. You see Lucchese, everybody throwing the bodies around, trying to get the guys back motivated into this one with a couple early penalties.
Pastuca gets it back, and he tried to steer it over to Butita, but it was intercepted. Timothy Payne, nice defensive play out to the neutral zone. And back up the other way. Dawson Baker dropping it to Butita. He's got all kinds of time and space here. Dropped it off, and Baker flubbed that one wide. Butita back into the corner to Ford. Throws it right back to the point to Cody Oakes, who pauses. Now it's over to Butita at the circle. He'll wait. And Butita, cross-ice pass. Baker, rebound. Ford had it. And now it's back to Baker and Oakes. And back and forth around the Rosie they go. And what do you know? The net comes off again. It's now a 5-on-4 for 42 seconds more, as this would be very imperative for the Thunder to kill this two-man advantage off.
Well, it's huge for momentum, right? You turn this thing around a little bit here. You kill back-to-back penalties, one 5-on-4, one 5-on-3, and then another 5-on-4 after the 5-on-3. So that's 3 penalties in a row for Delaware and a goal called off. Got to settle down the boots here and get them back rolling the other way.
First things first, kill off the penalty. Get back to full-strength hockey. Peavy on the draw with Lucchese. Peavy, and he got a little early start there, so they will not drop it quite yet. And now Peavy back to Oakes. Oakes walked the line a little bit. Talapov, top of the circle, he gets it back. Now back over to Oakes. Talapov, cross-ice pass, Peavy. That's a Blasco and an easy save for Constantino with just 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Quick up here as the Thunderbirds try to catch the Thunder sleeping. Tucker will dump it in. Liarakis behind his own net. Oh, he threw it right out in front. Tucker gets it, and Constantino comes to the rescue of Liarakis.
It's the Constantino show right now, isn't it, Dave? And they always say, I know it's cliche, but your best penalty killer is your goaltender, and that's what it's been here. Tim Payne made an absolutely fabulous play on the 5-on-3 as well.
And in many ways, Mike, you could say the best player all season has been the goaltender for the Thunder, keeping them in many games. Off the draw here quickly. Tucker to the point, and the power play is just about over. Oh, and it was deflected in front by Nicoletti, and back out the other way. Marker leads it to Liarakis. Liarakis left wing side. Move it in. Lets the wrister go. Morrison with good position, although he was leaning a little bit to his right. And he's able to freeze the puck with 7:46 left in this period, Mike. And they do kill off 3 penalties. It'd be really nice to get a goal on the board here before the end of the period, go into the locker room with the lead.
Well, Dave, now the momentum swings, I think, a little bit. I think you see Delaware a bit in the offensive zone. The ice is going to start to tilt here. So let's watch this line especially. I love the way Liarakis has been playing.
Liarakis behind the net. Threw it out in front. An opportunity for Cangelosi, who's had the magic wand lately. And he was denied. Now he gets it back, threw it out, and they score! Ryan Marker puts it home, and it's 1-0 Thunder, 4 goals in 2 games.
Ryan Marker, that's number 2 on the night, he'll say, I'm sure, as he gives a point going to the bench. Delaware takes the 1-0 lead. 3 penalty kills. Dave, we said it. You get the momentum back. Yanni Liarakis, Danny Cangelosi both grab the assist. 1-0 Delaware.
And team leading goal number 11, 4 in the last 2 games for Ryan Marker. He was out for a while, and he has not lost a step at all as the Thunder kill off the penalties and get right on the scoreboard. They lead at 1-0. 7:25, first period. Timothy Payne off the face-off following the goal. And it feels real good, and the crowd is really into it here at the Thunderdome. Cangelosi, and that one went wide of the glove of Morrison. Ryan Marker just has an amazing knack for the net. And he punches that one through, and the Thunder have a 1-0 lead here.
Yeah, it's a huge one. And, Dave, we talked about this team hopping out to a good start. Sorry there. You want to call that one?
Well, I almost deflected him, but go ahead. Here comes Butita. And he throws it to Cody Oakes. A lot of action here. Mike losing some on-air time himself. Oh, here's a play in front. Joey Brennan was right where he needed to be in front of the goaltender to intercept. And now the Thunderbirds will complete a line change. 1-0 the score. Early on, 3 power plays for the Thunderbirds, all killed off. And here comes Ryan Marker off the shoulder of Morrison behind the net. He's got a heavy shot marker and a very accurate shot as well, as he'll come off on the line change.
Schnapp really not happy there on. He's going to the bench, and like we said, Dave, it's tough. You come off the coach bus, you're a little cold coming into the game, and you just jump right into it. They didn't have a bad start, but no finish here.
Nicoletti with one momentarily bobbled by Constantino, and then he gobbles it up for the faceoff to his right. Live here from the Thunderdome, Harrington, Delaware. And the Thunder, well, maybe tonight's the night, Mike. Maybe tonight is the night. The fans of the Thunder know they're still looking for win number 1 on the season, coming in at 0-14-1. Off the draw, Daniel Martin, and going down, I believe, getting a piece of that shot was Lucchese, and showing a lot of courage there, getting up on his skates and getting it back out to the neutral zone. Talapov now with it, and that pass gets across to Thompson. Thompson mucking and grinding his way in, but Lucchese will retrieve, and it's picked up by Swiderski. Swiderski cross-ice pass to Timothy Payne. Payne stopped right before the blue line, and that went off the skate of Lucchese. Back the other way comes Baker for the Thunderbirds in those road whites. An errant pass, and it'll come right back out to center ice. That was Holt, and now it's picked up by Thompson. Thompson has some space, lets a snapshot go, and a stick save by the goaltender Constantino. This one's flicked out, hit with a high stick by Martin, but it's then touched by the Thunder, so no whistle. Kevin Basie behind his net. Thunder have done did it again. Alex Basie behind the net. I don't know where I got that in my head. Maybe watching a few too many Kevin Spacey movies over the holiday break. Pastuca threw it in. And right back out the other way. Artem Alekin. He lost it, and Peavy will drop it back to Monachio, and Monachio gets it up. Basie, now to Brennan, back to Basie. We'll just stick with last names for now. How about that?
Yeah, Monachio also on the All-Harris team for sure here, as they bring some in. Schnapp, Monachio, They got some good hair. Cody Oakes as well. But right now, Delaware taking it to him physically as well. Noah Wild, 3 or 4 big hits in this period.
And one thing we've noticed, when it has been full strength, great forecheck by the Thunder in this first period, which is nice to see. Getting pressure on that puck. Backhanded in by Alekin, and now behind the net is Monachio. He gets it to Pastuca. Pastuca, a very good defenseman, also shows some of that offensive prowess as well. He picks it up here. Speaking of the offense, here comes Pastuca. And that one may have gone off the toe of the goaltender Constantino. Right back out the other end on the left wing side. Liarakos passes down to Marker. This line is dangerous. Cangelosi, Liarakos, and Marker. And out the other way comes Ford. Ford, right wing side, cutting towards the net, threw it out to Butita, but it went right through the blue paint, out the other way. There's Basie. He will drop it off to Cangelosi. Cangelosi gets it to Marker, and I believe that was blocked by Schnapp, who went down in a butterfly-like style to knock that one away, Butita. The captain moves in, drops it off to Ford. Ford wrists it, but it's deflected. Then it's thrown out in front. Here's Cody Oakes. He took a little too long. Rebound laying there, and Butita puts it in. And we're tied at 1 as Butita got right on over there. And Schnapp was taken down by Cangelosi. Butita now tied for the team lead with 9 goals. Leads the team with 20 points. And hopefully the Thunder didn't take an extra penalty there, as Butita notches one there.
I believe they did. I think Cangelosi went right to the box there, Dave. It's just a good little play there by Carolina. It starts with the captain, Butita. He gains entry, leaves a drop pass, puck's on net, and that loose puck just ends up right on Butita's stick, and Mike Constantino had no chance, but that net was off by a good bit there, Dave.
It was indeed, and that was an unnecessary penalty taken by the Thunder and Dan Cangelosi. Some frustration, but you don't want to give up a goal and then a power play. The fourth power play of the night here for the Thunderbirds. They're 0 for 3 so far this evening. Tim Payne getting it up to Swiderski, and they will circle back. Holt getting it up now to Martin. Martin stopping top of the circle, drops it back to Baker. Baker and Holt at the points. Baker moving all the way over to the other side. Waits, looks it loose, and it was an opportunity for Martin. He couldn't quite corral it all the way. He does have the puck now. Top of the circle, dropping it off to Baker. Baker back to Holt. Holt at the face-off dot, and the wrist shot cannot get on net. Thompson in the corner now. Thompson waiting. All the way around behind, looking for that perfect setup, intercepted by Swiderski. Swiderski will now move up with the puck as we get closer to the 2-minute mark here, and another penalty on the Thunder. As taking a spill out here at center ice was Everett Thompson, and the Thunder are going to be 2 men down for the second time in this first period. And Coach Pens cannot believe it.
2 5-on-3s in one period.
And shocking that at this point the score is still 1-1. So they're going to call a media timeout here. We are locked at 1, a 5-on-3 coming your way after the break. And so we're back here, 5-on-3 for the Thunderbirds. Cody Oakes gets it over to Ford. Ford had an open lane there. We always talk about time and space in hockey. And he's got plenty of space. There's a shot from the side by Baker. Constantino bobbling. He does not have it covered. And finally he does. And I don't know what the official was waiting for. Now some extracurriculars in front. Alex Basie. And, some foul language coming through here from the bench as well. 49 seconds until it drops down to a 5-on-4. 1:45 on the other penalty to Noah Wild, who was penalized right before we went to break. 1:56 in the period, and I just don't even know where to start on this period, Mike. It's been just crazy.
Well, you know the most frustrated player on the ice is number 39. There's nothing he can do. He's just sitting there having 2 5-on-3s and just make a couple huge saves, which he has. Unbelievable the way Mike Constantino's played in this first period. And
Dawson Baker will take the draw here. Timothy Payne, Liarakis.
Someone just got a misconduct, I think.
Brennan's also out there. And we'll try to figure that out here. Right now, it's still.
Yeah, they're throwing somebody out, aren't they, Dave? Look at the official in the corner.
And it's Basie that's going to go, I believe. He's talking with the official, and Basie is gone. See you later, Basie, as he'll head to the locker room. And Charlie Pens is not happy. He is pointing directly at the official on the left side with disgust. Meanwhile, his team's shorthanded by 2 men. Here's Ford moving in. Butita. Oh, and a glove save. Old-fashioned style glove save right there by the goaltender Constantino. Back to the point is Baker as the ref chant begins here. Cody Oakes. And that one dribbled between the pads of Constantino, but he was able to secure it. And the fans here getting quite perturbed with the officiating, as are the Thunder and their bench. But they got to settle it down here. They're still in this hockey game, very much so at 1-1.
Mike Constantine's trying to keep these guys level-headed, and I think he's been doing a pretty good job at it, making some big saves, trying to keep everything under control for his team.
Flego able to clear it down. Nothing like the roommate advice that I'm sure Mike Basile gives Mr. Constantino to help him out in the net. Here's Martin moving into the corner. He avoided the check from Payne, left it out in front, and now covering it is Constantino. And that's the smart play as the goaltender, as I'm sure you told him during your many nighttime talks, that, when you're shorthanded 5-on-3, cover the puck as much as you can.
Of course. The only thing I ever taught him is every glove save's a windmill save. Every one.
That's correct.
A floater from the blue line, windmill save, every time.
In your career, there were only 2 or 3 of those. So
yes.
Of course
when the goals against average is over 10, it's not usually good, is it, Dave?
Of course. Peavy leaving that one. It's picked up and dropped back to the point. Pastuca, again, he's dangerous. Dropping it to Talipov. Pat save, Constantino. And then he had the wherewithal to steer it to the corner. Are you kidding me?
No, this is on Talipov.
Right.
Not Talipov, my apologies.
I think it was in front, and it might be against Thompson, Everett Thompson. I thought for a second they were going to call Constantino for a slash when he was controlling and corralling the puck.
Thompson's not happy. Nobody's happy tonight, Dave. Nobody's happy, but the 5-on-3's killed off.
Well, yeah, 1 second to go on the one and 57 seconds on the other. 1:08 on the first period clock, and a penalty coming up here to Everett Thompson.
Joe Brennan and Schnapp having a talk.
You need a court reporter to figure out all the penalties that are up there on the board right now.
Yeah, the game report's going to be long on this one. There has been a plethora of penalties, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon, does it, Dave?
Now, we're only in the first period as Pastuca gets the puck. Peavy winning that faceoff. 1 minute to go. First period, locked at 1. Thunderbirds and the Thunder. Here's Peavy, number 27. Left wing side, stopped, dropped it off to Talipov. Now it's back to the point, Peavy. Peavy and Pastuca at the points. Talipov trying to maneuver his way between his own players, and then he threw a pass right to the Thunder, and here comes Liarakos. Liarakos to Ryan Marker, the goal scorer. And he stops, waits top of the circle, tried to throw it over to Liarakos. Couldn't quite get it there, but they are definitely showing more chemistry, those two. Liarakos moving in. He had 3 guys on him, still found his way in. 24 seconds here in the period as we play 4-a-side hockey. Behind the net is Talipov as he got it away from Marker, and Schnapp will be content probably just to let this first period run out as their trials and tribulations with the bus and this whole first period come to an end at the end of 1 period of play here for the Thunderdome. 1-1 between the Delaware Thunder and the Carolina Thunderbirds. We'll take a timeout. We'll have the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission for you right after this. Score tied at 1 after 1. And welcome into the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission report. Dave Garson here with the score 1-1 between the Carolina Thunderbirds and the Delaware Thunder. First period shots, Carolina finishes with 26, Delaware with 9. At the 12:31 mark, Ryan Marker, in his mind, surely getting his second goal, but officially his first of the game, his fourth in the last two, assisted by Yanni Larakos and Dan Cangelosi. Returning the favor, the Thunderbirds at the 16:53 mark. Also an even strength goal, John Butita, assisted by Jacob Schnapp and Gus Ford. And that's where we're at, 1-1. The real story of that first period was penalties galore. 6 penalties taken by the Delaware Thunder. Alex Basie getting thrown out, officially verbal abuse of an official. You had Noah Wild with a penalty, Dan Cangelosi, Basie with a hooking penalty, Joey Brennan with a penalty, Artem Alekin was in the box, and the only penalty against Carolina was Everett Thompson late in that period. Thus, the Thunder will get a power play to start the second frame. Step aside here on the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission. Back with more in a 1-1 game after this. And so we're back here on the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission report. Dave Garson, joined by a very busy, I was going to say very merry, but very busy and merry Mike Basile. And Mike, recap of that first period, penalties galore, some of them a little bit questionable.
Well, it was a period where Delaware, like we talked about, kind of had to come out with the lead, I thought. You know, Carolina showed up late, couldn't get the legs going early. A couple penalties kept them in it. Ryan Marker had the goal called back because the net popped off. And then you have the one that he actually does bury. So Delaware now is in a 1-1 game. They'll have 53 seconds of power play time to start the period. I'd like to see them up 2-1 after the first minute of this next period because they need to feed off the power play. Special teams has to win them a game this year. It would be nice to get the first win off a couple power play goals and some real good penalty kills.
We were talking about this off camera, the fact that when the Thunder do get in a game, either they're tied or they have the one-goal lead, they're unable to keep the pressure, so to speak, the pedal to the metal, keep it going and build on it. And that's why they really haven't been able to pull away and, of course, get that first win. They've had the 2-1, maybe a 3-1 lead, but it's never a coast for us in the third period. We're like, you know what, we're going to be all right here. And that's really where it's going to change.
Right, and I agree with you. Like, you score 2 goals in the second period, walk into the third, maybe a 3-1 lead, then you hunker it down. You try and get one early. If not, you hunker it down. You clog up the neutral zone type of thing. I'd love to see this team with a lead in the third period. It's not something they've seen often this year, obviously, and that's what we have to see. How can this team play with a lead in period number 3?
Well, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention Mike Constantino, who was just extremely steady. I wouldn't say any necessarily spectacular saves in that first period, but he had a lot of rubber thrown at him, 26 shots, 25 saves, and he's been that way throughout the year. With all the inconsistency with Babin here, Constantino not back and forth, he's really played well.
He has. Mike Constantino's been really good, and tonight especially. You talked about it. 25 of 26 in period 1. That's an impressive first period. And, it sounds like a high number, but with 2 5-on-3s, it's nothing crazy.
Absolutely. 6 total penalties against the Thunder. Alex Basie will actually be available to come back. He got a 10-minute misconduct. Initially, I thought he was thrown out completely, but he will be available to return, and I'm sure he's going to have some vengeance on his mind as well. Mike, let's transition. Some upcoming special games coming our way here, one of them being First Responders Night.
First Responders Night, January 8th against the Columbus River Dragons. We're going to throw another one at you here. We got Realtors Night, Friday, January 7th. Pretty cool. Going to be a fun event here at the Thunderdome. So back-to-back, some specialty nights. Obviously, the Saturday, January 8th game will wear our First Responders jersey to show our honor to those who are obviously first responders, police, firemen, EMTs, all those people who are on the front lines every day, especially right now during such a trying time.
Absolutely, and Mike and the rest of the crew here do a great job preparing and executing those nights. And I've got to say, I thought for a second there this was the last game of the year completely for the Thunder. Right back on the road tomorrow against Watertown. Should we do a survey of, do the fans want Dave to travel and call a road game? Should we do that over YouTube? Do they want to hear me?
I don't. Let's just not. Yeah. Let's not and say we did. No, but it's tough. The tough turnaround. 4 games in 6 nights. As right after the new year, we'll be forced to hear you for that game against Binghamton.
Oh boy.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, they've heard me enough call Binghamton games because that'll be number 7 against them this year at home.
Yeah, they've played that Binghamton team quite a bit, and it's a division rival. Close proximity and travel. It's something we see a good bit here, that Binghamton Black Bears team.
Well, first things first, second period action coming your way. 1-1 the score here from the Thunderdome. Thunder and the Thunderbirds. Power play to start for Delaware. We'll have all the action for you coming your way. That'll do it for the Holiday Inn Express first period intermission. Face-off, second period next. And so we are back. DelawareThunder.com. Dave Garson, Mike Basile here on the call. Tied at 1 and a power play to start here for the Thunder, Mr. Basile.
As we listen to the YMCA, always gets you in a good mood. I think that'll lead these Thunder players right to their second goal of this contest. And it's the big three for me right now for this Thunder team, Cangelosi, Marker, and Liarakos. Those are the three guys that have been creating. They've been good in their own zone as well. And now they're looking for Brandon Lucchesi out here. Luch, as they need another on the ice. There he is.
Here he is, wearing number 77. He's switched numbers a few times.
That's
winning
Luch's
the draw.
Number now.
Yeah, winning the draw was Dan Cangelosi. Lucchesi with the puck. Power play here at 46 seconds. Lucchesi left point, dropping it to Liarakos. Liarakos laid it in front to Marker, and he puts it in! His second of the game, and it's 2-1 Thunder!
Ryan Marker, what a finish on the doorstep. Yanni Liarakos head up the whole way, finds Ryan Marker back door, bang, 2-1. What did we say, Dave?
Oh, we said it, and can you say 5 goals in 2 games for Ryan Marker? He completely leads the team in goals after a stint of not being in the lineup, and that fast, as Mike said during the intermission, get the goal, a power play goal. I believe it just squeaked in under that power play number, and it's 2-1. But right back at it come the Thunderbirds and Dawson Baker. Baker after the puck mid-circle. Baker throws it to Thompson, wrist shot, and a windmill glove save. There it is, Constantino, and the mind reader himself, Mike Basile, calling all kinds of things tonight. A face-off now to the left of Constantino. Lot has happened just 26 seconds into this period. A goal and a good glove save by Constantino. Flego behind the net. Number 7, Ryan Marker, who on the season now has 11 goals. Make that 12 goals and 7 assists. Pass in front, thrown over to Thompson, and a sliding great defensive play by Liarakos. And back out to Holt at center ice.
Well, that's one of your top players, diving, selling his body out for the team. That's this team really wanting to win a hockey game.
Martin with the shot along the ice, goes for his own rebound, and great positioning by Constantino as he slid over in the butterfly to freeze the puck.
Well, year one for this Delaware Thunder team, the Thunderdome was always a tough place to play, and you hear tonight why. The Let's Go Thunder chants, the place erupts after a big goal, and Ryan Marker scored a big one right there.
Face off here to the left of Constantino. Butita will pinch it into the corner. Timothy Payne, the steady defenseman, shipping it around. Now here's Ford. Butita with the only goal so far for this team. Shot from the point and in. Monachio puts it in. He just came into the lineup and he ties it at 2, and that's when Constantino probably wants back.
I think he took away the eyes and he scored the goal, the captain, John Butita. He leads the way, Dave. It looked like it just changed directions over the glove of Mike Constantino. And like you said, a tip out high, it's tough, but probably one he still wants, Dave.
Monachio in the lineup, I believe for the first time for this Thunderbirds team, a late addition. And just like that, the lead evaporates here for the Thunder. We are now locked at 2 from the Thunderdome. And back at it is Butita. Oh, he did the little dangle move from right to left. Lost it into the corner now. Being pressured by Brennan. Tried to throw it out in front. Constantino reached for it. Couldn't get it. Butita on the backhand now. Retrieves his own shot attempt. Now to Oakes. Cody Oakes at the point. Lofts one. Easily cleared to the corner by Constantino, but picked up by Ford. Ford tried to turn the corner. Now he dishes it off to the point. Snap! A pad save by Constantino as he flashes out the leather on that right side, and now it's flicked out to center ice and back into the zone as Artem Alekin chasing. He's going to get it. Noah Wild out front, and he scores! Noah Wild putting it home, and it's 3-2 Thunder.
The big celly from Noah Wild. Morrison comes off that post a second too early, and that's a little bit of that size we talked about, Dave. Just got the post off, and Noah Wild sneaks it in. And Morrison's been good tonight, very good, I'd say. But that one, just like Constantino, one he's going to want back.
Well, you said it. Morrison was leaking, but Noah Wild, the great part about that is he kept the shot along the ice. If he would have elevated that one would have hit the pad inadvertently. And there it is. Noah Wild, who's been throwing his body around. Goal number 4 on the season. 2 quick ones here for the Thunder and 1 for the Thunderbirds in this second period. Just 2 minutes in, 3-2 Thunder. McNally shipped it out to center. It's now picked up by Ryan Marker. Can he get back-to-back hat tricks? That's the question on the minds of Thunder fans right now. Timothy Payne. Back to McNally. McNally, cross-ice pass. Marker tried to chop it down. It'll roll into the corner, no icing. Liarakos in the corner along with Peavy. And it's now picked out. And back out comes Baker. Chipped into the left corner by Nicoletti. All the way around. Liarakos will come out with it. McNally with a head of steam. Red line, now in blue line, dumped in to the left corner. High off the glass. Marker keeps it in. Then he lost it. And back out the other way comes Jackson Tucker to Nicoletti. 3 minutes in, second period. And Nicoletti's pass attempt went well wide, and back out the other way comes Dan Cangelosi. Cangelosi changes places with Marker. Marker will go in that corner. Flego at the point. He's got a good shot. He let it go there. It was a snapshot, and it just went over the glove and the head and the helmet area of the goaltender Morrison, and now back for an icing.
Well, we're on double hat trick watch here with just over 3 minutes gone in the second period. That's a little bit of fun. John Butita and Ryan Marker both on hat trick watch here. And go back to that goal. What a beautiful goal from Noah Wild. And it all started with Alekin. Hustled down to get the puck, forced a turnover by the goaltender, and center a great feed out in front.
And that's a good point, Mike. They are giving credit on that goal to Butita. Then Aquino, that shot was deflected and in as this puck's behind the net. Pastuca creating some trouble, and now out the other way is Tucker. Tucker, cross-ice pass to Nicoletti. Nicoletti wearing 3, top of the circle. Ooh, struggling with it a bit. It was Constantino, and then he got snow sprayed. And he believes in football they would call that maybe roughing the passer.
Yeah, Constantino got sprayed, and that's just a no-no in the unwritten rule book. And sometimes it could even be unsportsmanlike in the written rule book.
Absolutely. And it was always a frustration as a goaltender, you know, Mike. You got that sweat pouring on you, and then you get cold ice squirted in your face. Timothy Payne out the other way. Thunder in their dark uniforms, the all black with the gray and white piping. The Thunderbirds in their road whites, trimmed in red and white. Might be a little spot of gray in there. Nope. Maybe I saw that in there. Maybe I'm colorblind as Mike looks at me. We'll go with red, black, and white. And Martin on the draw against Liam Little. Little's been a little quiet to say the least tonight. Out the point, Schnapp letting it go and back out the other way. Pardon me, that was Menechio. Now Martin on the far side to Thompson. Thompson, oh, he got a big elbow into Payne. Puck squirts back to the point. Menechio on the rebound, put in by Thompson, and we're tied at 3. As Thompson was in the right place at the right time, and he puts it home for his first goal of the season.
Go back. Payne takes an elbow up high from Thompson, who's the eventual goal scorer. And the puck ends up behind Mike Constantino. It's shots from the point that Carolina is beating the Thunder on, and that one hits Constantino, but he never sees it. And the rebound sits free in the blue paint and it's tapped home.
And interesting to note, it seems like Constantino, who's played a nice game, has struggled from the shots from the perimeter and controlling the rebound. And in that case, that one got a little bit away from him. And back off the goal face-off. Cangelosi winning at 3-3 the score. We've already seen 2 goals aside in this period. Ryan Marker, Noah Wild, Butita, and Thompson for the Carolina Thunderbirds. Flego to Brennan. Not even 5 minutes into second period play. And we're on the seesaw. Cody Oakes back behind the net. Chased down by Liarakos. Threw it up to Butita. Butita almost lost it. Cangelosi went after it. And now Ryan Marker over on the other side. And this puck comes out to center to Timothy Payne. Thunder were finishing off a line change there. Officially 5 minutes in to second period action between the Delaware Thunder, the Carolina Thunderbirds. Ryan Marker cuts towards the middle. He has just strong ability on his skates, a good shot, and all-around great hockey player. And he's been showing it the last 2 games, especially with 5 goals. Here's Gus Ford trying to get it to Schnapp. Schnapp, ooh, nice move there by Schnapp to get body position. Now he moves in front, laying it out, and it's bouncing around. Schnapp tried to get his own rebound, comes back to the point to Holt, and that shot goes wide, and now here comes Adam Morgan, another one that's been a little quiet today. Swiderski cuts towards the middle on the dangle, tried to hit Morgan, couldn't do it. Morgan will drop it off to Lucchese behind the net. Holt. Good forecheck right there by Swiderski, but unable to keep it in the zone, and out comes Ford. Oh, a little bit of physicality back behind the play. Ford moving up. A lazy wrister stopped by Costantino. And now the other way we go. A long stretch of no stoppages here. Left over to Swiderski, and it's rolling, and it goes wide. Oh, that one almost indirectly got through Morrison, but they'll bounce the other way. Here's Holt. DeAndrea leading the way over there, number 8. Puck laying in front, goes over and up in the air. I was going to say it was going to go over Costantino, but it just kind of lost in flight. And now into the corner. Peavy was waiting at the point, but Adam Morgan comes away with it. Streaks down the left side. Puck deflected and intercepted and back out the other way. That was Yuri Pastuka that had it. Dumped in. Brennan with a quick up. Adam Morgan waiting at the red line. Now had to come back for it. Quite sure what he was doing there. He might want to come back and provide some support on the breakout. Brennan, Flego, now to Morgan. Morgan cuts towards the middle. Dishes off to Noah Wild, who has himself a goal. And it was the last goal for the Thunder, and now let's see what the official is signaling here.
That came off, Dave.
Oh, boy.
Nothing new.
Should have known. Should have known. Media timeout. 3-3 the score. Thunder and the Thunderbirds back with more action right after this on DelawareThunder.com. And so we are back off the draw. Moving up is Baker. Wrist shot just wide of that left post. And Liarakos gets it. Getting it over to McNally. Big hit thrown over there in the corner by Dawson Baker. Thunderbirds steer it back in on Costantino. 12:30 left on the second period clock. Timothy Payne high up in the air on that flip in. Drop down, Cangelosi will chase. Mid-circle, tried to get it back. McNally at the point, left point, drops it into the corner as they try to set up the cycle. Liarakos, he's got Payne. Payne winds, and that blast goes up off the top of the glass behind the net and picked up and out by Daniel Martin. Daniel Martin with all kinds of speed. Or pardon me, that's Cody Oakes, 19. All those guys with the long hair get you confused. That was Cody Oakes.
The all-hairs team, Dave, but Cody Oakes, Daniel Martin, no matter who it is, these guys can play. As Cangelosi getting into it a bit, I believe that's Holt back there.
Yep. And Marker, as Mike mentioned, we're on double hat-trick watch. Not only back-to-back games, but 2 players with opportunities in the same game.
It's always a fun
pass to Butita. Speaking of the hat-trick, he tried to get it there. A pad save, easily corralled by the goaltender Costantino.
Well, each team has a line. Sorry, Dave. Each team has a line. It's Marker, Liarakos, and Cangelosi, and it's Schnapp, Butita, and Ford. And both them so dangerous. Both times they try to match up where they're not out there against each other so they can each be in the O-zone for a bit of time. That's how it's been this contest.
And with finally can say that the Thunder have a line with everybody back in the lineup for the most part, and some additions as well, Leorakos being one of them. That pass eludes Adam Morgan and goes in on Morrison. Morrison sporting the white helmet like Constantino, the black cage.
I like his setup.
Yeah, nice, the black pads trimmed in red.
Look at you.
Oh, I love the goaltending equipment.
Yeah.
You ever listen to the NHL Network and you hear the guys talk about it? It's a part of being a goaltender, the equipment. If you're not good at the sport like me, at least you can look good.
Oh, yeah.
Butita out the other way. All kinds of speed. Right wing side, throwing it back across the Schnapp. And it got past his stick, just slid off. Now to Ford. He's got Butita in front. Couldn't get it to him. And now Adam Morgan will just turn and fire down. I think he had more time than he thought. It'll be an icing as we're under 11 minutes remaining in this second stanza. 3-3. And lots of scoring in this period. Ryan Marker, Noah Wild for the Thunder. John Butita and Everett Thompson for Carolina.
Well, it's a great play by Basie there. Wrong reach of the stick to make the play and keep a dangerous chance away.
Alex, don't call me Kevin Basie.
Yeah, as we see, take a look at the bench. It's Ben Hathaway for the Carolina Thunderbirds, just signed as the emergency backup today with the call up to Chris Paulin.
Yeah, they've had a lot of shifts in this league, of course, because of the leagues above them having to deal with health-related issues. Basie, Swiderski. Swiderski has played some good hockey of late. Starting to get a little bit more ice time here and there. Pastuca getting the puck back and leading it up and out the other way. Pastuca on the backhand, threw it in front and intercepted by the other number 24, Timothy Payne, and back out to center ice.
I talked to Tim Payne. He likes to play his game like number 3 on the Islanders, Adam Pelech, and that's kind of what he does play like.
Never heard of him. I don't know who you're talking about.
Honestly, not just saying that. That's what he told me. He said he loves to watch his highlights, loves to watch him play, and that's a good shutdown D play just like him.
Good player to model yourself with or against, I guess you could say. Although the Islanders have had their share of difficulties this year. Just wanted to point that out.
Thanks, Dave.
Make sure I get on record with that. The game canceled, what was that, last night against the Red Wings?
Yeah, and that was one that looked like it was actually going to be played, and then last minute canceled. But take a watch out here. I see Ford, Schnapp, and Butita.
Not good. Speaking of the NHL, these Flyers fans in the stands here tonight. Flyers taking on a Kraken out there in Seattle. Ford losing the draw, but it went right to Schnapp. And he got it on the net. And recovered by Constantino.
Well, Schnapp could score goals. He can make plays, but he's not afraid to get involved either. A little after the play as he got in it with Basie. Just a bit there, nothing too crazy. You know Basie's not going to back down. Absolutely
not. He's back after that 10-minute misconduct. Schnapp 6'2", 205 from Newport Richey, Florida. Here are too many hockey players from that area. Ford pushed it forward. And Payne gets it up to Noah Wild. Under 10 minutes remaining. Second period, locked and knotted at 3. Flego behind the net to Tim Payne. Back to Flego. Flego, head up. And trying to connect with Liam Little now. And Little lost it, and a penalty coming up here. Talipov doesn't seem too happy. Looks like it's going to go against the Thunderbirds. And I just had a Shea Rabinowitz sighting out there. Hasn't played too much tonight, number 15. And we're going to have a media timeout and a penalty to tell you about when we get back. 3-3 the score here on DelawareThunder.com. And we're back right into a power play, tripping call against Talipov for the Thunderbirds. So the second power play, Thunder scoring on their first one, coming into the game at just 11%. They'll go with Marker, Cangelosi, and Lucchese. Basie and Liarakos at the point. And the officials still talking things over. There's been a lot of officiating questions. A lot of stuff going on in this game. A bus issue with the Thunderbirds on the way to the game. A lineup card situation in the first period. And a lot of yapping going on both sides. Talipov in the box.
Coach Rutledge is over the bench here. Now he sits back, but
Garrett Rutledge, the head coach for Carolina. Coach Penn's behind the bench tonight for the Delaware Thunder. Cangelosi will take this draw to the left of Morrison. 3-3. 9:40 in the period remains, and the power play is underway. And off the draw, Pastuca will clear it. And now Liarakos shoved a bit on that right side by Dawson Baker, so a little bit of pushing and shoving going on here and physical presence being shown. Marker tried to feed Liarakos. Lucchese behind the net now, back at the point. Basie's going to pinch. Might have not been a great idea, but that puck is going to elude Baker and go all the way back to Constantino. He needed to put more pressure on that puck. Just kind of a weak pitch over to Marker, who will circle back. 80 seconds on the power play. 9 minutes left in the period. And right back in Manichino. And this is not a good start to the power play for the Thunder. A golden opportunity to take the lead.
A lot of playing time for Manichino just being signed today. You don't see that too often with the guy you just see. Good play by Cangelosi.
And Marker with that high riser. Lucchese dropping it back to Liarakos. Liarakos, top of the circle. Feeding over to Lucchese. Lucchese waiting, walking the line, walking, and getting it over to Liarakos. Liarakos tried to feed Marker on that Ovechkin side, but he was unable to get it to him. Basie will circle back. 40 seconds left on the power play. Lucchese in this line's been out there for the majority of it. Liarakos trying to get it to Marker, couldn't do it. Cangelosi now on the backhand, gets it to Lucchese, and they'll keep it all the way around. Liarakos back to the point. Basie fakes the windup. Oh, nice pass over to Marker. Back to Liarakos, and I believe getting a piece of it was Morrison, and the net has come off. We'll keep an eye on that as the official will go back to help Morrison with it. We saw that issue in the first period. A goal disallowed by Ryan Marker, and they finally get it fixed. Marker back out the other way. One last rush on the power play. 4 seconds to go. Morgan at the point, drops it off to Marker. Wrister goes wide. Power play is over. We're even strength. Here comes Gus Ford. Gus Ford stopped, passed it over to Schnapp, and Schnapp couldn't get a full handle on that puck. Backhander by Brennan over to Timothy Payne. 5-a-side hockey, 7:22 on this second period clock. 2 goals aside in this period for these teams as they ended the first period in a 1-1 tie. Delaware looking for victory number 1. And Carolina looking for regulation win number 9 on the season. Holt behind his own net. He flicks it up to Yuri Pastuca. Bounces out to Schnapp. Schnapp up and out. Deflected by Ford into the right wing corner, and it stays in play. Payne comes after it as this game just kind of settles in after that power play.
Just going to say that, Dave. Even during the power play, just since the 4th goal this period, it really slowed down. I know that sounds crazy, but the start to this period was insane, and now we're kind of in a lull.
Majority of those goals scored in the first 3 minutes of the period. Here's Schnapp. Oh, he tried to lift back for the wrister, lost it. That shot from the point by Talipov went wide. It might have hit a body in front. And Noah Wild tried to get towards that pass. Back in the zone. Timothy Payne winds and blasts one off the boards. Tucker at center ice now. Tucker turned it over to Morgan. Morgan waiting for some support. He's got Liam Little and Noah Wild. And Morgan is taken off the puck fairly easily by Talipov and back out the other way. Tucker's got speed. Tucker moving in. He's got Nicoletti in front. Drops it back. From the point, the shot by Talipov. Maybe getting a piece Constantino. 6 minutes to go. We're here in the second period. 3-3 the score. Talipov lays one in on the goaltender. Sticks it aside. Tucker Back over to Telepov. Telepov in front, and Peavy couldn't get it on net. Tried to direct it that way. It'll bounce from behind and into the glove of Constantino with 5:41. Now left, second period, 3-3. Goals by Butita and Thompson for the Thunderbirds here in this second period. And Ryan Marker and Noah Wild have tickled the twine in the second for the Thunder.
It's been a little bit of a push now from this Thunderbirds team, and every time, Dave, you get the kill and you get to go.
Here's an opportunity by Martin. He shoots and he scores. Daniel Martin putting it in. Goal number 7 on the season. An innocent-looking play, a wrister. I believe that went 5-hole on Constantino, and it's now 4-3 Thunderbirds.
Just a shot with way too much time in a dangerous area. It just can't happen. There's so much time for Daniel Martin, who knows how to put the puck in the net from a dangerous area. I know Constantino gets a piece, but it's a good shot in a goal scorer's spot, and it's 4-3.
So far tonight, Martin notching number 7 on the season. Butita with 9 and 10. And Everett Thompson got his first. A little bit of a delay here. I don't know why.
Was the net off again?
Well, actually on that last goal.
No, it was definitely
it
off.
was.
I just don't know if it was too late.
Yeah,
after.
I was going to say, if it. I don't have the benefit of.
Joe Brennan's going to the box.
Being able to review. Oh, boy. We saw this in the first period as well after a Thunderbirds goal, where the Thunder got a penalty there, and Joey Brennan is in the box. So following. That's the second time in this game, following a Thunderbirds goal, that the Thunder take a penalty. And if I'm correct, this is power play number 8 on the night for the Thunderbirds. Butita back to the point to Ford. Or, pardon me, I should say penalty number 8, power play number 6. As it's into the corner, Dawson Baker went all the way around to the other side. Nearest to your vantage point, Pastuca, back to Butita, 5:15. Left in this period. Thunderbirds are back on top, 4-3. Baker, Pastuca, and deflected out by Flego as he got in between Martin and the puck. And, you know, here we go again, Mike, where you get a goal, you're up 2-1, you're feeling good, you get the power play goal to start the period. About 20 seconds later, it's tied at 2, then it's 3-2, 3-3, but now you're behind. Not good.
No, not good at all.
Another penalty coming up here, and it's going to go against the Thunderbirds. I believe we have a slash. We're also going to have a media timeout. We'll figure out all the penalties and more. 4-3 Thunderbirds, just under 5 minutes remaining, second period. And we are back here. The penalty against Yuri Pastuca, so it's 4-a-side hockey. And Ryan Marker looking for that back-to-back hat-trick night. Behind the net now. Marker on the backhand, tried to feed it to Cangelosi. Cangelosi gets it. They just have some nice chemistry, this line. Basie rolls it along the boards. Marker's going to come out in front, lay it on the ice, and Morrison luckily had that pad pinned up against the post and is able to hang on. As we set the scene here, 4:35 to go, second period. Thunder trailing 4-3. 4-on-4 hockey for another 58 seconds, and then a power play, most likely for the Thunder. Face off to the right of Morrison. Cangelosi wins it. Marker feeds it back to the point to Basie. Basie over to Liarakos. Rakos! Oh, along the ground. Along the ice, and Cangelosi tried to poke it in, but couldn't do so. Back out Liarakos will settle things down and bring it back in. Now to Ryan Marker. Ryan Marker with all kinds of speed here. Moving in from left to right. Back behind the net. Threw it out in front. He was looking for Swiderski. Now it's back at the point. Liarakos, all kinds of space and all kinds of time. A pad save, a right pad save by Morrison, and back out the other way. 4 aside for another 20 seconds, and then Joey Brennan will come back on the ice after the penalty expires. Under 4 minutes to go. Second period. Ryan Marker back out. Leading it up to Swiderski. Swiderski on the left side, now on the backhand all the way behind the net. To this right circle. He stops, pops, drops it to Liarakos, to Basie. Basie over to Marker, back to Basie. Winding, letting it loose. Morrison save, rebound, Lucchese goes wide. Great opportunity, and that shot was more of a set it up for the rebound type play. Bounce it out in front, Swiderski. Oh, he had a chance. Going out in the 2-pad slide was Morrison. Now a pass to the corner, power play now for 18 seconds.
That's
and
off.
Here we go. The net comes off. Ryan Marker was getting set for a nice offensive zone try, and the net continues to come off on both sides. So this faceoff will remain in the offensive zone. Power play for 17 seconds here for the Thunder. They do have a power play goal. Scored it early in this second period. 1 point in the second. At that time, they had a 2-1 lead. Now it's 4-3 Thunderbirds. Picked up by Holt as the power play just has 10 seconds left. Holt got it over to Butita. Now to Peavy, who will dump it in. That'll do it for the power play. And with 3 minutes remaining in the period, we are even strength. Basie up to Liarakos. Liarakos moving in. Tried to get it over to Marker. It's now flung up into the air right beneath our vantage point here. Out at center ice, and Swiderski will swing back for it. He'll pitch it to Flego. Flego with his head up. Looking, and he'll get it over to Ryan Marker now. Marker moving in. Cuts towards the slot. Drops it off. What a save! Swiderski with a brilliant setup from Marker, and Morrison comes away with a puck.
That's highway robbery, Dave. That's all it is. It's a great feed from Marker. The strength on the push-off from left to right from Morrison. And he absolutely robs Swiderski right in the chest, makes a big save.
Remember that one as we wind down this second period, just 2:33 left. A big save by Morrison. Shea Rabinowitz out there now with Liam Little. Back to Brennan. Brennan will toss it back into the corner. And going after it is one of the goal scorers in this game, Daniel Martin. And now with the head up, coming out with all kinds of speed is Baker, but he lost the puck. Brennan dumps it behind the net to his defensive partner, Flego. Little has to help him out. And now up to Brennan. Hits it off the boards, maybe a piece of glass. And into the Thunderbirds zone for just a second and right back out. 1:58 now on the clock. 4-3 Thunderbirds. A go-ahead goal by Martin, his 7th of the year. And a bunch of stuff going on right below us here. And Martin ends up on his backside. And we'll see if any penalties are called.
Both refs did have their arm up, Dave. Was it Little there?
Now Liam Little is over here, and Martin was the one laying on the ice. And we'll see what Liam Little is heading to the sin bin. And this is not what you want, a power play to finish off the second period. As Mike and I detangle from each other up here in the booth.
We got Dylan up here from Carolina, too. We're trying to juke around each other.
Dylan, we've got 4 people in a booth big enough for maybe 1 on most occasions. Basie behind the net, short-handed now. Basie with a good one off the glass and up to the red line. And it's pushed back in the zone. Basie back after it. 90 seconds left in this period. Oh, Liarakos colliding with Talipov. No penalty called. Here's Pastuca. Dropping it off to Ford. Ford looking for Peavy in front. He actually got it off to Pastuca. And now Ford dishes to Talipov. Back to Ford. Top of the circle. Ford's got all kinds of space. And that windmill glove save by Constantino.
I don't want to tell I taught him that, but I did teach him that. I did teach him that.
Well, there's a difference between a windmill glove save in mini hockey and actually doing it in the professional ranks.
You're right. It's harder in mini hockey because you don't have the gloves, so you got to do bare hands.
Long story short, I made my career in mini hockey.
You and I both.
I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, so I was shooting against myself.
Shooting off the wall back at you.
Right back at me, you know? Hey, that's the way you got to do it if you want to be good.
Uh-oh.
Batuta off in front and a glove save. There's another one as Baker had some good wood on that. I shouldn't say wood anymore because a lot of these graphite sticks are composite graphite. Even the goalies, I saw a story on NHL Network, are moving towards the composite sticks. Never thought I'd see that. Oh, Cody Oakes lost it. And an opportunity for Cangelosi. He gets it back to Lucchese with a minute to go in the period. Lucchese pushed to the corner. Oakes tried to jump on his back. Wanted a piggyback ride there for a second. Butita also over there. Comes back to the point to Brennan, who just shovel it in. 1 minute on the power play, 48 seconds in the period. 4-3 Thunderbirds. Dave Garson, along with Mike Basile, calling all the action here. First visit of the year by Carolina to the Thunderdome. Butita dropping it back. A wrist shot goes way over the net by Baker. Butita to Martin, 30 seconds left in the period. Martin, cross-ice pass to Pastuca. Pastuca waiting, gets it over to Martin. Martin will drop it to Butita. Butita back to Pastuca. Pastuca. Not
quite. Knocks it down.
Not quite the law firm names that we're looking for. Cangelosi moving up off the post. Oh boy, what a shot. And it bounced all the way up into the ceiling, the roof area here. Now that one came out of nowhere. A heavy shot with 22 seconds left on the power play, 10 seconds in the period.
Well, that's how good Danny Cangelosi is. He fakes the slap shot. You're shorthanded, so you think it's just going to come in. Creates just enough space for himself to absolutely wire one off the crossbar. I'm surprised the pegs didn't come off from the hard shot.
Seriously, I am totally surprised. Basie to Payne. Last opportunity of the period. That one steered wide in front. Leo Rakos had an opportunity. That'll do it. 2 periods of play are in the books. It started off well for the Thunder. They took a 2-1 lead on the power play, but they fall short at the end of the second. This one's not over yet. 4-3 Carolina over Delaware. Back with the Holiday Inn Express second period intermission after this. And welcome into the Holiday Inn Express second period intermission report. Dave Garson here. At the end of 2 periods of play, it's the Carolina Thunderbirds leading by 1, 4-3. A lot of action early in that period as far as the goal scoring goes. And then it kind of settled in that second period. A goal by Ryan Marker, his second of the game, his 5th in the last 2. The assist to Brandon Lucchese and Dan Cangelosi. John Butita notched his second of the game in that second period. Noah Wild came right back, tied it, or gave the Thunder the 3-2 lead on the assist by Artem Alekin, and then Blake Peavy and Daniel Martin back-to-back goals, and the Thunderbirds went ahead 4-3. Shots in the second period, Carolina 18, Delaware 11. Game total, Carolina doubling up and more with 44 shots to the Thunder's 20. And the score here, 4-3 at the end of 2. This is the only FPHL game in the league tonight. Tomorrow night on the road, the Thunder will be traveling to Watertown to take on the Watertown Wolves. Stay with us, more to go here on the Holiday Inn Express. Second period intermission, 4-3, Carolina. And welcome into the Holiday Inn Express second period intermission report. Dave Garson, Mike Basile, and Mike, a lot of activity early in that period. 4 total goals, and then more of a settled down approach. 4-3. Thunder still looking for that first win. How do they do it?
Well, you got to stay out of the box. It's been way too much time spent in the box. I know all the penalties have been killed. I do understand that. But at the end of the day, you can't spend 16 minutes shorthanded in a game. You're just not going to win because you can't get any momentum going. Yeah, you might score 1 shorthanded goal, but it's just too much time spent, most of it in your own zone.
And overall, Mike Constantino has played well, but it seemed like he was wearing down a bit late in that second period. Gave up a couple goals, one early, one towards the end of the period. And that's going to wear on a goalie. I mean, he's already up over 40 shots against him. He's faced, at this point, over 300 on the season, and he's not even in there every night. How does he kind of regroup during the second period intermission and keep the Thunderbirds off the board?
Well, he's got to take it easy here in this second intermission, this locker room break here. Just breathe in, out, take some breaths here, and get settled. And really know he's got to stand tall in this third period because just because they're up a goal, Carolina's not going to keep. They are definitely going to keep coming, I should say. This is a team that loves to score goals. They scored over 90 already this year, so they know how to put the puck in the net.
When you think about it, the Thunder had 2 one-goal leads in that period. They let both of them go, and that gets back to what we were talking about. Build upon it, and especially that 2-1 go-ahead goal that they gave up, 30 seconds later. In this period, if they tie it up, take the lead, they got to ride it out and win this hockey game.
They do. This is a team that once they get the lead this time, they can't look back. There's no looking back. Like you said, you ride the wave of momentum to the finish line. That's exactly what the Thunder have to do.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night on the road, Watertown back here on New Year's Day. Is it a day game?
It is not. It's a 7 p.m. start.
7 p.m. So lay off, warm yourself back up from a night of festivities.
Right.
And come on out. DelawareThunder.com. Tickets available as the Thunder take on Binghamton again. If you're a fan, you've probably seen them about 16 times already. Face the Thunder, but they're a good team. They bring a lot of speed, and it should be a good matchup. But
the rivalry's heating up. It really is. I mean, these two teams have met quite a bit, and we see that. But last two times these two teams met, it got nasty in Binghamton. Yep. A lot of goals, a lot of action. When these two teams play, it is a fun time.
But dare I say, Mike, the Thunder could go into that game with a 2-game winning streak.
We could hope so.
Win tonight, go to Watertown and get a victory, and get those 2 in a row. Right now, Thunder still looking for win number 1. Back with third period action after this. Carolina up 4-3. Thanks for joining us on the Holiday Inn Express second period intermission. And so we are back ready for third period action. Dave Garson, Mike Basile in a 4-3 hockey game that's featured a lot of penalties, a lot of early goals in that second period. And what do you know? Let there be light.
Well, Dave, we touched on it in that intermission report. If Delaware can hop out to a lead, kill this last 11 seconds first of the Leland Little penalty, which they should be able to do, as Basie and Schnapp get into it before the whistle. Here we go.
And it's Ford against Cangelosi. Just about set for third period action, and we're underway. Glad you've stayed with us on this Wednesday evening of hockey as Cangelosi picked that one off, and Pastuca will get the puck and now twirl back into his own zone, getting it to Oakes. Power play has expired. Full strength hockey. Butita to Ford. Ford, wrist shot, blocked, and then the rebound was laying right there. Basie blocked it. Constantino was leaning that way and almost went off the wrong side of the net. Noah Wild, who has a goal on the evening, moving up, drops it off to Ryan Marker. Marker flicking it into the corner. Wild was hounded by Pastuca in that corner, pardon me, and now we have got a late whistle. And let's see what we have here. My immediate thought is always the net coming off, but I don't know if that hit the netting because I don't see any penalties being called.
I think it did go up and out of play as those two collided in the corner. Wild's going to the bench having a laugh. Him and Pastuca got into it a little bit there.
Pastuca is a big boy, and he can throw that body around very well. Dawson Baker takes the draw. He lost it. Marker sees that one go in a pop fly style to the corner. The Aracos try to feed it out in front, and back out comes another goal scorer in the game, Daniel Martin. Martin on the backhand, flicking it to Baker. Baker back to Martin. Now at the point, Talapov lets it loose, and it bounced around in front of the net onto the stick of Liarakos. Liarakos tried to feed Marker, but that was intercepted, and back out to center ice. Flicked out by Holt, and it falls on the stick of Thompson. Everett Thompson with a wrister, and going down to the butterfly and corralling it with the glove is Constantino. Shots right now coming into the period 44-20 in favor of the Thunderbirds. Did have a couple questions come through on the chat regarding the playoff structure in the FPHL. 7 teams, 6 make the playoffs.
Correct.
Obviously making it even across the board. Right now, the only team not to make it would be the Thunder. As you know, still looking for that first win.
A lot of hockey, Dave.
Yes, plenty of hockey. On that side, flung into the right corner by Menachino. Nicoletti now has it. Basie on the side. It all starts with one win, right, Mike? Just one win, and then the rest come into fall in the line, they say. Peavy tried to get the puck, lost it, and now the back official calls an interference penalty. Out from center ice, and it's going against the Thunder. So another power play for the Thunderbirds. Try to take a peek over here and see who's heading to the box. Maybe it's Noah Wild.
It is Noah Wild for sure. He doesn't agree with the call.
Noah Wild, that physical nature is a big part of his game as he's thrown the body around quite a bit tonight. But a very important penalty kill here for the Thunder. The Carolina sending out Baker along with Schnapp and Butita, Pastuca and Ford at the point. So they go 4 forwards on their power play. Schnapp to Butita, fakes the windup, does a pirouette, top of the circle now. Ford dishing it off into the corner to Baker. Now to Ford again. Ford, another 360. Strong on those edges, back to Baker. Walks the line, gets it to Pastuca. Pastuca retreats a bit, tosses it over to Butita. Butita, cross-ice pass to Baker. Top of the circle, winds, and a save by Constantino, and he gets the rebound as well. And Schnapp was in there, and Joey Brennan says, get out of the way. So a face-off to the right of Mike Constantino, who now has to be up close to 50 shots against him in this one. 1:35 remaining on the power play. Baker has Marker spun through the face-off dot. Ford gloves it down at the point. Backhands it over to Baker, now to Pastuca. Quick pass to Ford. Back to Baker. Now Ford has it again at the hash mark. Baker at the point, walks, then moves over to Ford. Ford moving in, lays it across to Butita, who had the hat trick on his stick, but it went wide. Butita right back over to Baker. Now to Butita, who winds, fires, and notches the hat trick. Butita with the hat trick, and it's now 5-3 Carolina, another power play goal.
Nothing Constantino could do. It's a bit of a broken play there that leads to Johnny Butita's third goal of the night in a 5-3 Thunderbirds lead. I think the pass was supposed to go all the way across here, but it just finds Butita on the fan on a bit of a wet surface still early in the period, and Butita goes right under the blocker of Mike Constantino.
So Butita the hat trick, now 11 goals, 11 assists on the season. And he's also scored a goal in each period of this game. So
power play goal too there.
Spreading the wealth. Yep, another power play goal for Carolina. And they have a 2-goal lead, and now it's get to work time for the Thunder. Ryan Marker trying to do just that. His slap shot or slap pass in the corner, deflected up in the air, and coming out with it is Daniel Martin. And now in the corner, comes back to Baker, up at mid-ice, and Cangelosi turns it over. Right onto the stick of Manacchio. Manacchio over to Baker. Baker cuts towards the slot area and goes after the puck. He was pushed off by Brennan. Back to Martin. Martin tried to get it to Baker. Brennan says, no, sir, and he gets it out to center ice. Back the other way, Baker moving in. They're coming in waves here. Thompson, that's Everett Thompson behind the net. Tried to float it up. Still now in that left corner. Holt coming in from the point. Wraps it around. The Thunderbirds completing a change. Peavy just coming onto the ice. Almost 4 minutes into third period action. And Carolina came in with a 4-3 lead. They now lead at 5-3. And they've trailed in this game by a goal 2 times. 2-1 and 3-2. Adam Morgan on his giddy up. And it went off the skate of Swiderski, and he's going to have to come back out to neutral ice as it would have been offsides. Tim Payne now back steps and gets it to Morgan. Morgan tried to feed Lucchese, intercepted by Peavy, but it goes back in the zone. Lucchese shipped at over there with Holt, and it goes up into the netting for another faceoff.
It's a good play by Lucchese there. The forecheck creates an offensive zone play, an offensive zone draw on a play that had no business causing any danger.
Now John Butita, the story here with the hat trick. Ryan Marker is one shy of a hat trick as well. More importantly, the Thunder trail by 2. And here's Butita trying to get goal number 4 on the evening. Pastuca now moving into the zone. He stops, but he didn't bring the puck with him. Out the other way, here comes Artem Alekin, who has not gotten a lot of playing time, but he draws a penalty there because of his strong forecheck work. And a power play coming the Thunder's way here in a second.
It is a good play by Artem Alekin as he's able to get around Talipov, and all he can do is reach around with the big body and hook and hold. Artem, you make the call.
All of the above.
You make the call.
Talipov to the box, power play. It's going to be Cangelosi, Lucchese, and Ryan Marker. Basie and Liarakos at the point. Cangelosi wins it forward. Manacchio tried to wrap it around. Basie keeps it in, but it squirts out to Martin, and he'll clear.
Well, that's all Carolina's going to look to do, Dave. One touch and out.
Absolutely. Appreciate all of you tuning in on YouTube and DelawareThunder.com. Great audience out there on this Wednesday night. Ryan Marker with a wrister and a glove save by Morrison. Marker denied his hat trick right there.
Yeah, it's a good save by Morrison, and when you don't have the most size as a goaltender, your angles are so important. He comes out to the top of the blue paint, gives Marker absolutely nothing to shoot at except the webbing of the glove.
15:03 to play, third period, 1:34 on this power play. Cangelosi, and he got pickpocketed, and it's all the way down. And that was a nice play by Cody Oakes, who also has those flowing locks. Liarakos and the Thunder trying to get it out. That's Basie behind his own net. Down to 1:15 on the power play. Here's Marker behind the net. Marker throws it to Basie. Basie back to Marker. And it goes all the way into the corner. Lucchese being hounded by Pastuca. He gets away from it, gets it to the point. The Aracos deflected and in! Cangelosi with a brilliant deflection in front, and it's a power play goal! 5-4.
Get pucks to the net on the power play. Danny Cangelosi, an absolutely beautiful tip on the doorstep over the glove of Morrison, who just made 2 good glove saves on Marker. Now Cangelosi has the last laugh, and Delaware's right back in this contest. It's 5-4.
And for Cangelosi, he nets goal number 6 on the season as he continues to rise up the team lead chart. Still well behind Mr. Ryan Marker, but a big-time goal there on the power play and a good response by the Thunder. 4:17 left, third period, 5-4. Ryan Marker right back out there. Lets one loose. Oh, that was a tricky one for Morrison as it floated by his left ear. Picked back up. Morgan to Marker. Marker. Oh, he tried to feed it in front. Couldn't get it there. Back out to the neutral zone. Timothy Payne. Oh, a bad turnover. Back out comes Daniel Martin. A wrist shot. Goes for his own rebound, but he can't get it. And Basie will clear it to center. That's where Holt is. Holt coming in with a lot of speed from the point, but he goes offsides, and we have a media timeout. With 13:48 left, a good hockey game. Stay right where you are. 5-4 Carolina. And so we're back, third period action. The Thunder have cut it to a 1-goal game on the Dan Cangelosi goal. That was his 6th of the season. Off the draw now, Flego flicking it over to Brennan. Now to Morgan. Brennan comes away with a puck. Here goes Brennan on a 2-on-1. Throws it over to Swiderski, but he couldn't get enough on it. And it totally got away from it. Back the other way is Ford. Ford cuts to the middle. Puck bounces around, and Lucchese threw it on his own goalie. Oh, and Constantino had to be ready for that. Back out to Morgan now. Cody Oakes goes behind his net. A very eventful third period here. Butita already with the hat trick. He loses a tire. And now Flego will push it to the corner. Ford tried to get it to the point. Morgan lost it. And now out to center, Lucchese. All kinds of sticks flying there at center ice. Both teams, I don't think, have been thrilled with the officiating tonight, particularly the Thunder, though. Here's Nicoletti. Nicoletti on the left wing side. He stops. He's controlled there by Basie. Now it's 2-on-2, 3-on-2. As Liam Little comes over, comes to the point now. That is Talipov. And it just went wide. I think Constantino had trouble seeing that one. 12:30 here left in the third. Peavy drops it off to Nicoletti, and he scores. Nicoletti just lofted a wrist shot at the net, and Constantino was blocked. And they now extend the lead back to 2 goals. So Nicoletti getting the goal.
Delaware was fighting back, just too much zone time for Carolina. And it's 6-4. It was a weird goal, wasn't it, Dave? Traffic in front, might have been tipped on the way through.
Yeah.
We were just as screened as Constantino was.
It was hard to see, but it was not a very hard wrist shot. It was kind of floated in there, might have been deflected. Nicoletti, for him, that's goal number 3 on the season. And number 3, not just goal number 4 for the Thunder, or pardon me, goal number 6 for the Thunder on this Wednesday evening as they now regain the 2-goal lead. And just when you think the Thunder are getting back in it, it slips away again. Leorakos coming back. 8 minutes into this third period. Now to Flego. Flego will dump in from the red line. No icing. And it's pushed up by Holt. Now behind the net. Leorakos trying to free Cangelosi. Goes back to Flego. He's got a heavy shot. He missed that one. Brennan back to Leorakos. Thunder are not going away quietly into the night here. Puck bounced around. Ryan Marker couldn't get to it. And now it's flung up by Manakio. And a little bit of a skirmish up here at center ice and back deep into the Thunder zone. A pass over, and I believe Constantino got a piece of that as he slid to his right. And Dawson Baker fired that shot. We're trying to get a quick replay on it as that play slowly developed, and sprawling across was Constantino, either the post or a combination of the stick and the blocker. Either way, it remains 6-4. Tim Payne dropping it in. Morrison stops it for his defenseman, but now he'll fling it up. There's Ford, and they've got numbers. Ford to Schnapp. Schnapp's got Butita on the right side, but a good defensive play, getting back Artem Alekin. He backhands it to Liam Little. Talipov keeping it in. Oh, what a big hit by Basie, who says, get out of here, and now he's out to center ice. On the right wing side, he flings it in. The Thunder showing some moxie here in the third, but they still trail by 2. Back of the point, Flego. Flego tried to backhand, and here's Butita. He's already got a hat trick. Can he get one more? Moving in, right wing side, stops top of the circle, tries to get it to Ford. Nothing doing there. Adam Morgan now will pitch it back to Liam Little, and things will settle down at center ice.
Liam Little's the perfect player in your D zone. Makes a good defensive play, makes sure everything is safe and clears the zone.
Nicoletti got a taste of goal scoring, and now he's right back after it. Feeding Peavy, now back out in front, and a goal! As it just laid in front, and I'm trying to get a number on that. As it was fed in front, and getting the goal is Jackson Tucker. Only his second of the season. As Tucker was fed that pass and was able to keep it along the ice, and it eludes Constantino. It's now a 3-goal lead.
Right through the wickets of Constantino. It's a good little touch pass in front. Finds its way to Tucker, who just as soon as it touches the stick, right off and right under Constantino. 7-4. This was a 1-goal game just 3 minutes ago, Dave.
And for Jackson Tucker, who has the puck again, this is only game number 6 for him in a Carolina uniform. Goal number 2, has seen limited ice time tonight, but he takes advantage of that opportunity that presented himself. Now Peavy, back to Nicoletti. Tried to feed Peavy again, and broken up and back out the other way. Here comes Swiderski. Swiderski, 2 against 3, as they had all the defenders and some offensemen back for that opportunity. Under 10 minutes on this third period clock. For a moment there, the Thunder were back in it at 5-4, but how things can change quickly, and they have indeed here. Lead pass up for Daniel Martin, chipped away by McNally, and onto the stick of Lucchese, who just drops it off to Morgan. Morgan on the wrist shot. Morrison kind of battled that, and now a whistle. I don't know what that is for.
It was a way late offside call.
Extremely late, as that puck was on the net and all the way behind the net. We'll have a media timeout. Thunder trailing by 3 here against Carolina with 9:15 remaining third period. And so we are back, 7-4 the score. Ticking our way towards 9 minutes remaining third period, and a quick penalty and a high stick. And it appears to be on Dan Cangelosi. So that's the last thing you want when you're trailing by 3, is to give Carolina another power play.
Yeah, it's Cangelosi right off the draw. Just gets the stick up high right away. And that's an easy call for the official.
Coach Penns has been annoyed, as many of the fans have, with the officiating this evening. And Cangelosi expressing his discontent as well in the sin bin right beneath us.
Well, remember, just a couple minutes ago, Dan Cangelosi put his team back in the game. And you hate to say it, but now it could be
put him right out of the game.
It, right?
Yep. Leo Rocco's shorthanded here. Adam Morgan from the right side, and struggling with it a bit was Morrison. And now regrouping is Butita, who will look for his 4th goal of this hockey game. Gets it to Baker. 20 seconds into the power play. Baker from left to right. Baker all the way down beneath the red line, or the goal line, to Pastuca. Now to Ford. Ford over to Pastuca, back to Baker. Baker dishes to Pastuca at the hash mark. Now to Baker, who walks the line, wrists it, and Constantino stopped it. But we've got a penalty coming and some after the play action as Basie levels a man in front. Now sticks coming up. I want to say the penalty was going against the Thunderbirds, but I might be wrong. Either way, there's going to be an additional penalty called, it looks like, as well. Basie is not happy.
I think it's all Basie going to the box here. I think it was an interference in front to start.
And Baker is chirping it up with the Thunder bench. Artem Alekin and Noah Wild getting into it. And I believe Basie's being thrown out of this one. He already had a 10-minute game misconduct. And Coach Penns is wondering what's up here. Basie's not going to the penalty box. He's closer to the locker room entrance. And now they're just trying to figure out what the call is. I don't believe anybody's in the Thunderbirds box.
No, I think it was Basie for interference in front of the net or a cross-check. And then I think they got him on a misconduct after. He's in the locker room, eh?
Well, he's heading that way. Now, 2 10-minute misconducts. Does that lead to a suspension here? I don't know if that rule has been implemented. Right now they have 2 minutes up on the clock. And Basie's talking it over. And he's going to head to the locker room now. He pled his case as best he could. But you would think it's a 10-minute misconduct with 8:27 left in the period. And guess what? Our third 5-on-3 of the game at quite possibly the worst time. Already down 7-4. Butita, Baker, and Schnapp, along with Pastuca and Ford, out there for Carolina. Baker will match up against Liarakos for the Thunder. Went it right back to the point. Baker with a good win. Pastuca dumps it behind the net. 5-on-3. Here's Ford at the left point. Out of Pastuca, back to Ford. Plenty of open ice on this power play. Ford switches position with Pastuca, who lets it loose. Goes to the right corner. Ford now over to Baker. All kinds of room, and that one locked up in some bodies, and it ends up under the pad, the left pad of Constantino, and they'll get the whistle here.
Still too much time for me on that 5-on-3, 58 seconds. That's a good save by Constantino as he gets it lodged under his pad. As tomorrow night, Delaware right back in action, so we'll have to see who they go to in the crease tomorrow, obviously.
It might be the newcomer Tristan Gillespie, potentially. We'll see. There's always roster changes between games. This faceoff's going to get a redo as one of the officials up in the neutral zone is allowing the Thunderbirds to switch out players as Holt comes out on the right D. Winning it forward was Peavy. Brennan had it for a second. Ooh, Ford got jabbed in the ribs. Passed over here to Holt. Holt back in the corner to Martin. Martin back to Holt. Monachillo from that left circle. Dishes off to Ford, back to Monachillo. Monachillo cross to Martin. Martin right up to Holt. Good puck movement here on the 5-on-3. Martin back to Holt, deflected off the crossbar and right back out to Artem.
Wow. Great tip in front. Has that one just hit the top of the crossbar, bounced up, and cleared all the way down by Artem.
7 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third, 12 seconds left on the 1 power play. Holt, all kinds of time. Manakio lets it on the net, deflected in front by Ford, but it went wide. And now it'll be a 5-on-4. Holt dropping it off to Martin. Martin cross ice. Manakio had it, and it goes back to the point. Martin has it again, steers it into the right wing corner. Now over to Ford on the other side of the ice. 24 seconds to go on the one-man advantage. Cangelosi on a shorthanded opportunity. Tries the dangle, cuts in, and not going anywhere with the puck. His body backed into the goaltender and knocked the net off the moorings. And it'll be a face-off likely outside of the zone.
Yeah, Cangelosi tried to slow up there, just caught an edge at the end. Tried his best to avoid Morrison, but it's a good little play in between his own legs, creates space for himself on the backhand. Only had one hand on the stick. And not too much doing.
So we'll have a face-off outside the Thunderbirds zone. 16 seconds on the power play. 6:40 here in the third period. Leorakos shorthanded, and one official blew the whistle. The other one's going, why'd you blow the whistle? Boy, they need to get organized here. A little late for that.
Did they blow the whistle because Carolina only had 4 guys on the ice?
Yeah. Talk about a disadvantage. The Thunder need all the help they can get. And now they're going to give the Thunder an offensive zone draw. 8 seconds left on the Carolina power play. Flego at the point. Over to Timothy Payne. He scores! I don't believe it was deflected. Maybe. But Tim Payne makes it 7-5 with a shorty.
Coach Penn's asking for the puck. He doesn't think it was tipped. That's going to be Tim Payne's first pro goal. What a shot. You keep it on the ice right through traffic. Lucchese goes out and grabs the puck. What a shot from Tim Payne right through the legs of the defenseman and in the back of the net. And, hey, that whistle might have ended up helping Delaware. But, hey, you blow the whistle if it's a 6-on-5 instead of a 5-on-5. You don't blow it dead because Carolina's short a guy. That's their own fault.
Well, it results in a goal nonetheless. Hailing from Mississauga, Ontario, Timothy Payne gets the goal. Also the hometown of Eric Lindros. I heard he was a pretty good player.
Who?
Oh, you don't talk about former Flyers. Well, his brother Brett played for the Islanders, so you'll recognize that.
Rumor has it he was better.
Oh, really? I don't know about that. One of them's a Hall of Famer, the other's not. This one steered into the corner. Morrison slowed it up. Talapov has it. Thunder are still in this hockey game. 6 minutes left. Trailing 7-5 to the Thunderbirds. McNally wraps it around to Leorakos. Leorakos. And it deflected off the stick of Schnapp and back into the Thunder zone. Be great to get a quick one here. Maybe pull the goalie and tie it up at 7. Can we only wish? Into the corner now. Cody Oakes taken off. Good play there by Cangelosi, but he can't keep it. Oakes had it, but a great back check again by Cangelosi on the stick of Butita, though. Butita threw it off the pad of the goaltender. Constantino back out the other way. Leorakos cuts towards the middle. Thunderbirds completing a change, by the way, 5-a-side hockey here. As Marker tried to steer it towards the net, couldn't get it. Marker in the corner. Oh, it would be quite the sight to see him get a hat trick and get this within 1. Or tie it if they get it to 7-6 before that.
That would be back-to-back Hames with hat tricks for Marker if he could do it.
DeAndrea lost it. Here comes Adam Morgan. Morgan right wing side, moving right in. Tried to get it on the forehand, lost it, rolled off the stick. And also coming in was Daniel Martin to interfere. Morgan throws it out, and Swiderski did not see it. It just deflected off his skate. Swiderski had a golden opportunity, and we'll go into a media timeout. Stay right where you are. We're coming in for a landing. 7-5 here, third period. And so we're back. Final 5 of this one. 4:41 on the clock. Thunder behind by 2. Gus Ford flings it up the center to Butita to Schnapp in his skates. And it bounces over now to Adam Morgan. Ford comes away with the puck. Moving in, he's got Butita. He tried to cut towards the middle, and Ford lost the puck. Squirts over to the right wing side. And out come the Thunder. No, it's going to be kept in the zone. Ford has it. Over to Schnapp. Schnapp wide open. Talipov, he scores. Talipov puts it in at the top of the left wing circle, and that might be the nail in the coffin for the Thunder this evening.
Talipov just got that free space on the ice, way too much time, and he's able to fire it home. And the Thunderbirds, like you said, Dave, might have just put this game on ice.
So for Talipov, that is goal number 2, point number 7 on the season. And now it's 8-5 in favor of the visiting Carolina Thunderbirds. Puck squeaks into the corner now. As I guess you could say a valiant attempt by the Thunder to get back in this one. And hard to believe, but they had 2 one-goal leads in this game in that second period, a 2-1 lead and a 3-2 lead. And those disappeared very quickly as this Carolina team has just been very consistent. They've benefited from a lot of power plays as well. And you got to hand it to them with all the bus troubles they had on the way here, not even getting a warm-up to come out and put an 8 spot on the board. And that is now 3 straight games that Carolina has scored at least 8 goals against the Thunder. To start the season, they won both of those games 8-3, and now they lead here 8-5. Turnover, Martin has it. Oh, and he's taken off the puck by McNally, and Liarakos will come away with it. Liarakos tried to feed it up, but it's going to go right back to Pastuca. 3 minutes left, third period. Trying to get above 500 are the Thunderbirds. They came into the game 8-1. Of course, the Thunder just trying to get one victory. 0-14-1, and that includes 7 straight losses since the shootout loss to Binghamton, and that feels so far away. Speaking of Binghamton, they will be back here at the Thunderdome on Saturday. Now come the Thunder. Final 2:30 of this game. Artem Alekin's shot goes wide. Kept in by Marker. Gets it to Liam Little. And a little bit of a line change up here late in the game as Marker getting a shift with Liam Little and Artem Alekin. Here's Tucker. Tucker has himself a goal, and he rips that one, and I think that caught Constantino awkwardly as he is keeled over. Believe maybe the face mask or up near the neck area.
I think it got him right on the cage, Dave.
And the Thunder training staff will come out to take a look at Constantino.
Dr. Krill Alexiev and trainer Sam Catrone out on the ice. Those just ding your bell.
Ooh.
You know.
We know all about it. There are 2 areas you don't want to get hit. We won't talk about one of them, and the other one's up there in the face and neck area.
Constantino pops back up, which is always good to see. Gillespie was looking. Am I going to have to throw on the helmet here?
And speaking of the good hair game, Gillespie, he's got the flowing locks on the bench, number 33, dressing up. And Mike, you were saying he traveled all the way from Ohio just to come and dress for this game.
Yeah, he's dedicated goaltender, spent the beginning of the season with Watertown, looking for a second chance.
So the faceoff will come to the left of Constantino after the brief injury timeout, and Butita will drop it to Schnapp. Schnapp wrister, and Constantino says, my head's just fine, and he corrals that, and he'll get the stoppage.
Schnapp in the slot right after one off the head is not exactly what you're looking for as a goalie.
Schnapp, who only has 3 goals on the season, but he is always involved, as we've seen in this game. Lucchese will dish it up to Morgan. 2 minutes left, third period. Thunder behind by 3. Stay tuned for the Holiday Inn Express postgame show. Butita says, well, before that, I want to get goal number 4. He dishes off to Ford, and Ford off the iron and in. And it's now 9-5 Carolina as Ford gets his first goal of the game and his 10th team lead before the game. He'll now be behind Butita, but he gets that one, and it's now 9-5.
Just a great pass from Butita over to Ford, all the time in the world. And he's not going to make any mistake from the low slot as he fires it home.
So Gus Ford now has 15 points on the season, second on the team in goals. He came in with the lead, but Butita has the hat trick to give himself 11. So 8 and 9. Those are the 3 games and the goal scoring totals for Carolina. Just way too many pucks going in the net, especially when these teams match up. Puck squirts out to Cangelosi. Cangelosi tried to weave his way between Nicoletti and Manacchio and couldn't do it. Back into the corner. 1:10, final 70 seconds of this hockey game. And Adamo Aslan with one of his very rare shifts, maybe his only shift of the game. Leo Rakos dropping it off to Morgan, and Morgan lets it loose as we're under a minute to play. A commanding 4-goal lead for the Carolina Thunderbirds on this brief 1-game homestand for the Thunder. Talipov, who has a goal, getting it over to Cody Oakes. Now just 40 seconds to go. Nicoletti deflects it into the left corner. Down to the final 30 seconds of play here from the Thunderdome. 9-5 the score. And that puck's shot into the right wing corner. And Tim Payne will come after it. Final 15 now. Here comes Lucchese. Lucchese threw it out in front. And back out comes Butita. 10 seconds. Butita will let one on the goal. It goes wide. And that'll do it for a hockey here on this Wednesday night. Carolina Thunderbirds come in. They were delayed in their travel. All they do is come away with a 9-5 win over the Delaware Thunder. The Thunder fall to 0-15-1. Carolina moves to 9-8-1. And they were energized in that third period. Goals by Tucker, Talipov, and Ford. Tim Payne does notch his first professional hockey league goal in that third period as the Thunder salute their great fans, and Carolina salutes them as well. So that's a nice gesture.
A little bit of sportsmanship from the Thunderbird and the Thunderbirds. From the Thunderbirds and the Thunderbirds.
Long night.
Oh, the Thunder.
Long night for Mike Basile. Well, it's been a good one. Not in the win column for the Thunder, but some bright spots. We'll talk about them next on the Holiday Inn Express postgame show. Final score again, Carolina 9 and Delaware 5. And so we're back. Final score here this evening from the Thunderdome, Carolina 9 and the Delaware Thunder 5. Dave Garson, Mike Basile. Before we get to Mike here, third period goals. Well, they were aplenty. John Butita for Carolina. He notched his hat trick. He got a goal in each period. Dan Cangelosi at the 5:37 mark cut it to a 2-goal game, but then Nicoletti, Jackson Tucker, back-to-back goals for Carolina at 7:36 and 9:53. And then Timothy Payne with his first professional hockey league goal. He's got that puck as a memento at the 13:29 mark. And then Talipov and Ford finished it off for Carolina to get us to a 9-5 score. And once again, Mike, at times in this game, you feel like the Thunder, are very much in it, have an opportunity to win, and it just slips away.
Yeah, that's what happened. They cut it to 1 goal. They had the couple 1-goal leads. It's a close game. And like you said, just in that third, get worn down a bit. And Delaware falls to the Carolina Thunderbirds tonight, 9-5. In a contest that both teams will say, defensively, not pretty one bit.
Yeah, a lot of penalties, obviously, as well. What bright spots can you take out of this game besides, Timothy Payne getting that first goal? At least one that I saw was the meshing of that first line, a legitimate first line now.
Yeah, it really was. It's Ryan Marker, Dan Cangelosi, and Yanni Liarakos. They came to play tonight, and they were real solid all night long. That's just good hockey from that first line. They did a lot of damage.
Absolutely. Now it's secondary scoring, and defensive game needs to improve. Obviously, can't give up 9 goals to Carolina, and they also gave up 8 and 8 the first time these teams met. Well, they'll be right back at it again in Watertown. Watertown Wolves will welcome in the Delaware Thunder tomorrow night, and then we're back here on DelawareThunder.com Saturday, New Year's Day, for the Thunder and the Binghamton Black Bears. For Sue Lamb, Mike Basile, Dave Garson saying good night, good hockey from the Thunderdome. Once again, final score, Carolina 9, Delaware 5. We'll talk to you tomorrow.